I don't know. No, it was good. All right, here's the intro.
It was.
See, that was good.
Lightsaber underwater.
You don't like the lightsaber underwater? That was a whole conversation we had about Clone Wars and stuff. You don't remember?
No, I like that it's little Easter eggs for those that watch the show and have seen me rant about it.
Yep.
It's the same intro as last time, so I didn't have time to change our little clouds this time.
Yeah, it doesn't have to change the time.
Yeah, no. It'll be fun for people to watch and see what new ones are going around. So anyway, this full 42, we're going to talk about the top 5 hard passes in board games, things that make us go, nope, that's not for me, kind of thing. Yep. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be subjective. I feel pretty strong and I wasn't even watching comments. Hi, Al. I feel pretty strong that I have some some ground to stand on.
I think we'll have overlap.
1 minute into
that might be
the conversation. Pocahontas came out.
That might be a record. I don't know if we'll have maybe we'll have overlap. We might have one thing that's
maybe. What I mean by ground to stand on is like things in my list. Like I have a reason for them to be in there, not just like I don't like this kind of game kind of thing, like subjective, which is fine, but anyway, we'll get into it. I also, like I said before, I started adding stuff like Kickstarters and campaign things that they do, and I ended up with this really long list. We're supposed to only have 5, so I took all of that out. Maybe we'll cover a hard pass on Kickstarters or something like that sometime.
Yeah, I'm impressed because I literally have 5 things. So you're taking the place of me extending, but
sort of. I knocked it down. You don't bother to knock it down.
No, I honestly don't give a shit. So we're doing that with the top 5 hard passes, and we're playing Dice Miner on Tabletopia afterwards. But to get into the top 5 hard passes on the Facebook page, or maybe it was on whatever one of the places we posted, you had mentioned. Oh, no, it was in our full 42 Facebook group. You had said hard pass on games or Kickstarters. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I might really like co-ops, but a Kickstarter might have a really shitty page. So my hard pass on what I see on Kickstarter would be different than my hard pass of like these games that are like, hey, do you want to play this? Absolutely not. I'm out.
Right. Well, like I said, you said that, and I was like, nope, I'm keeping mine in. But then I had 10 things. I was like, all right, I got to cut something out. So that's the only reason why I took those out is because we got to cut down to 5. But yeah, I mean, like, sure, there might be something like, I love this kind of game, but it's got like all this early bird crap, and I don't like early birds. So there you go. Hey, Andrew.
See, for me, I went more the approach of, would I buy this game or not? Because if I'm with a group of people and somebody offers or asks to play something, even if it's one of my hard pass, I will still say yes, because it's like, we're here for the experience. We're here, to hang out. It's like, sure, I'll indulge you in whatever game you want to play, even if it's not my cup of tea, just because it's like, hey, Michael, just because it's like, I feel, I don't think I could say no. Like, I just don't, unless it's point salad. Then I just don't think I can say
That's your hard pass right there.
It's just that and 10. Both of those. I think those are like, yeah, I'm not playing that again. But
I agree with that. There are times that people will ask me to play something and you can see they want to play it, and it might have something on my list, but I would say yes, kind of. But you're right. I kind of thought of this as like, I pick it up off the shelf and look at it and see this and go, oh, nope, kind of thing.
Yeah. What is that? Ooh, nope. Right. That's what we're looking for. What is that? Yeah.
skirmish.
So to Alan's point,
Nice.
and the only reason I didn't bring this up yet was I agree with the majority of that. However, I can never say I'd pass on a 4-hour or greater game because Twilight Imperium has been one of my most favorite experiences in board games in the past however many years. And trick taking, there are a few, like Diamonds, I think is really good. What did I just play? Tournament of Camelot, I think it's called. I want WizKids or Zim, I think it was WizKids, is a trick taking game, but it kind of flipped it on its head where the majority of the time it's the lowest that takes the trick, but you can play around with it. So there are some like overarching game mechanisms. There are some that are like, no, I'd probably play it. Like if you come at me and be like, oh, it's a trick taking game, I probably would have my guard up.
Yeah.
Like they did with when they said you want to play Tournament of Champions, it's this kind of cool mechanism, like trick taking, but backwards. And I was like, oh, trick taking. But then by the end of it, the way the cards played and the powers worked, it's still a trick taker, but it had some really cool things that I hadn't seen in trick taking games before. And I would have missed that had I been like hard pass on trick taking. So,
well, and that's why I like Fox in the Forest, because that one sort of has like, it has a range of how many tricks you should collect to score well. Because if you go too little or too many, like if you go and try and take them all, then you get 0 points. So you're having like a range to work in, and and of course, like some cards give you powers as well. But like, yeah, like I think that there's always ways to make a mechanism that we don't like work in a game. Like you combine it with something else, or like, so to me, like most of what I have, I mean, there's a few that are mechanism, but even so, like I said, I would still play them. It's just not something I would buy.
it's
Alan's
tough. Playing games, you try and find the good in everything, right? Especially from a design perspective. Like a game has something to offer, right? It could be complete trash, but there's something there that could be devved more, could be reworked. There's something there, and I try and find the good in. I look at these stacks. I try and find the good in every game. So it was really hard for me, and maybe for you, maybe not Chris. Chris was probably like he had this in his pocket ready to go, but to put games on the list that are like I would never. It was really difficult because I try and find something good in all of them. Like it could be, majority of it could be bad, but there's something like, but that was really good. Like I like 10 I don't like 10, but I like what 10 did to a degree. Otherwise it was trash. Point Salad, same thing. It was easy. It's nice to get gamers into it, non-gamers into it. But for the most part, I would never go and pull it off the shelf.
right. There's a difference between hard pass and not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, something,
Not
right?
for me. Well, not for me is like stuff I'll look at and be like, this isn't normally for me, but this part sounds interesting, so I'll try it. Hard passes are like, yeah, I don't care what the rest of this text says. That's on there. No thanks.
I see what Alan said about legacy games, and I can totally appreciate that legacy games for a lot of people would be
Yeah,
like,
he's hitting my honorable mention here. Legacy is it's
That's
just not something I can get done. I have too many other games to focus on one for like 10 or 12 games in a row or something,
Right.
Well, let's dive into it because I think we're gonna like slowly start to list
right.
our top 5.
Would that be a hard pass? Well, not to preview your list, but would the fact that you can't get the same group together for 12 plays be a hard pass?
I actually left that reasoning off of my list because there's a lot of things that I do pass on stuff because I'm like, that sounds interesting to me, but I know I can't get my group to play it.
Right.
I didn't put it on, but now it might be. It's one of those where it's like before, I would have I've played legacy games and they're fun. Now it's a little bit harder to get them played. So I don't know that I would buy one for a while. Yeah.
I kept mine kind of personal instead of thinking about what to play. Like I didn't put 3+ player games on there, even though I don't get those because I can't learn them because I learn them with only with Aaron, but that's group kind of consideration, not really what I'm interested in. I might still go I'll play this at a con or something like that. So,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, let's get into it before we
Let's do it.
give away everything else. So, top 5 hard passes in board games. Number 5. What order do we want to do it in? That is a question, real quick. Is there any order that you're doing this in, or is it just?
No, I don't have an order.
Okay, I think I'm going from my least passionate to most passionate.
Fair.
Thanks.
That'll work.
I should reorder that if that's the case. But yeah, okay. Now it's the passionate version for me.
All right. Why don't you lead it off then?
All right. So my number 5 is I almost read my number 1 because I'm doing this wrong.
This is why I drink.
This is why I shouldn't. My number 5 is a ghost player for 2 players that's overly complicated. First of all,
sorry, say that again.
a ghost player for 2-player versions that
like
is overly complicated.
Like that third thing that
Yeah.
you're.
So the minute I read that there's like some kind of ghost player, I'm already I'm on the fence. But if it's real simple, if it's just like Teotihuacan, almost said it right.
You did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That one is just like put dice in the way. Takedo just has like a thing that fills in the spot. Real easy. Dune Imperium even has one that's fairly easy to use. That's fine. But like 7 Wonders before Duels came out, that 2-player thing, they had this whole. There were times where the 3rd player won. Like it was just. It was.
That should never be a thing.
I know exactly. So I don't mind the ghost 2-player thing. Whenever all it does is kind of set up a extra little challenge that needs to be there for 2. I'm still kind of, wavering on it, but if it's overly complicated, I'm out.
All right, I have a question. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. We were talking about looking on the shelf, flipping it over, reading a thing, and being like hard pass. How do you know it's overly complicated unless you get it, open it, and try it?
Because I'll go to BGG and check.
But then you're relying on somebody else's. I don't like this to sway you into
Not
saying.
there, I don't like this, but you can. I mean, a lot of them will tell you like, "Oh, there's a ghost player" or something like that, and also, I mean, you could look at the rule book if you want. I don't normally look at rule books and stuff. This is more of a. I guess it's more of a. I wish I had hard pass at that point, right? Because you look in a rule book and you're like, okay, there's some extra rules for 2-player. That's all right. And then you go, oh man, there's all these extra bits and pieces for it. No, I have actually taken games and put them back in the box instead of learning them, throwing them on the pile and grab something else. So that's kind of a hard pass.
Okay.
All right.
It sounds more like a soft pass, but.
Oh, it's fine. Even if it's I think all of mine are soft passes.
Not the episode. The episode is hard pass.
I said I was going to start off with my least passionate hard pass and go to my. So, all right, Katia, you want to go next? We'll go counterclockwise.
Mine. I'm gonna start with one of the things I hate the most, I guess. I don't like games where you have to like have somebody close their eyes or leave the room. That annoys me to like.
Betrayal on House of the Hill, you don't like?
I've never played, so I don't know.
Do you mean for like long periods of time, or just like they step out? And
like werewolf or oh god, what's the game where it's like it's dark and there's a light on the board and there's trees.
Oh, it was a German game, and then they redid it as Shadows of the Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have somebody leave for like several minutes while you move everything, and it's just like that's not fun. Like that's just I don't like that. Games where you have to have somebody leave the room. Like, come on.
Are you? So you don't like it if you're the person that has to leave, or you don't like
I just don't like the idea of having to have somebody leave. Yeah.
That's actually like
And
when
I
I
don't-
run my RPG, I hardly ever take anybody out of the room because I know how crappy it is to have a whole group of people or somebody else like separated from it, you know.
Sorry, I just
Can't stand it. Can't stand
Yep.
it.
Hide and seek.
I actually loved hide and seek as a kid, but everybody's doing it, so that's the game. But if you're having one person having to leave, or yeah, like the whole having to close your eyes, it's like I don't know, I don't like it.
What if it's just a real quick one, like close your eyes while I move this around and then done?
Okay, so I put them together for a reason. I think just because they're so rare in games, like it's not a mechanism that you see that often, so that's why I put them together first of all. But the idea of having people close their eyes and move stuff or do something whilst people have their eyes closed, I can always hear the movement of the people around the table. So it's like if there's somebody that's supposed to do something and then everybody else is supposed to not know who, I can hear the clothes moving or the table or something, and I find it spoils it. Like it's just
Yeah.
not a good.
Those games like Ultimate Werewolf, right, where somebody's supposed to check cards and stuff like that. We always make people like, okay, go, and everybody like hits the desk and like that and moves around so that you can't tell who's doing what.
Yeah.
But it
So
is
that's
a bit of you know,
Is
I
that
can see
a
that.
house rule?
Yeah.
That's-
It-
But yeah, that's my issue with the ones where you have your eyes closed, and then yeah, and then the one where somebody leaves, that's just pretty self-explanatory. It's just sucky. That's all. That's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough.
Mike, number 5.
All right, so I'm gonna go with I have everything on my phone. 99% of the lineup in GMT. If I see GMT on a box or someone's like, "Oh, you want to play this game?" and I see that GMT on it, I'm out. I don't want to.
What's
Yeah.
the GMT? Somebody enlighten me.
It's a publishing company.
Explain
Oh.
the lineup then, like give us examples.
All right, so my exceptions would be, and this is just because I want to try it once because I've heard really good things about it. Dominant Species, and I think it's called Thunder Alley. It's a race car game. They're very intricate. They're too many chits. They're more war game-ish than anything. Yeah, like that one. See that little red box in the corner that says GMT, other corner? That. If I see that, I'm out. I don't want to buy it. I probably don't want to sit down and play it. With the exception of those two. Because I've heard that one's really good.
Yeah, I heard it's really
Thunder
good.
Alley one I've heard isn't necessarily as ridiculous as most of their lineup. But other stuff I'm not.
I didn't even think about naming a publisher that I wouldn't want to grab stuff from.
Well, the thing was, if I see it, it's a no. So when I see it, it's a no.
Fair enough.
I don't. No. That's not true. I have Dominant Species, and I think I might have Thunder Alley, but GMT wise, I don't. I don't think I have anything else in my collection.
I think he means you have everything else that is board games.
I do. I do.
Okay, you got to tell us what burned you so hard on GMT then.
It's I don't want to play a simulation if I'm coming to the table and playing something that's like, it's escapism, right? I want to get away from, I want to be a ranger, I want to be a cleric, I want to fight a dragon, I want to be in space mining an asteroid, right? I don't want to have a simulation where it's like tabletop wargaming, right? Like you got to break out a fucking ruler and think about the wind and gravity and like physics. Like I'll go outside and throw a rock. I don't want to worry about that in a game, right? I want to experience a game. It's a game. It's not a chore. And I feel everything about those types of games are, from what I know, are more chore-ish than anything.
I've never played any of them, so this is like really enlightening.
I may have only played Dominant Species. I don't know from that description that you'll like it. It's a great worker placement. It's very cutthroat in how things are played, though. So,
Didn't GMT do The original Civ too.
Oh, did they? The Sid Meier's Civilization?
I want to say they did.
That was pretty complicated. It wasn't hard to grasp once you knew all of it, but there was a lot of rules.
Oh, Twilight Struggle, Command and Colors, like that whole series. They have 529 games to their credit, and
Wow.
none of them, like going through, they all look like just blah to me. Maybe it comes down to the art. Like nothing about these covers makes me want to like grab the box and be like, "Ooh, I want to know more about Barbarossa." But from what I know about the gameplay, Battle Line. Well, Battle Line I like a lot. Battle Line's really good. That's GMT, but that's super light.
This is starting to sound like a soft pass.
Well, no, I said 99%. I did say 99%.
It's got 99 games and GMT ain't one. Okay.
Yeah,
So are they the ones who make all the Civ games, or like when people talk about the Civ games?
I'm looking. Civ is not in their roster.
Oh.
But they're very, like, if you look up anything by GMT, they're just very intricate, very detailed, like the combat commanders and the colors and whatever. It's just not. Listen.
Michael's chirping you.
I'm saying if I see GMT, I'm out, except for what I've heard from, like Chris said, Dominant Species was worth it, right?
I like it a lot. I don't know if you would, but I would describe it more to you if you want, just to see if you want to know. But
I probably won't like it, but it is on one of my radars. Like if at any point, if we were at a convention and you were like, "Hey, I want to play this," then I would probably give that one a shot. Otherwise, if it's got the GMT logo on it, nothing against the company. I'm sure they make great games, but I feel like it would be a week to read a rule book. Like I'm not in. I'm out.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so our number 4. Look at that. Change the banner so now people can know what number we're on.
But I started with probably my worst one. I don't know. I'm not really following the order.
That's all right. Chris will forget to do the banners after this anyway. So
probably, yeah. All right. So my number 4 is Vindictive Actions for No Good Reason. So here's the thing where it's like, okay, you can do this to earn points. That's cool. But having an action to take points from someone else is, well, it's pointless. Because what happens with that, if you think about it like strategy-wise, it's not a good idea to do unless you're in a 2-player game. In which case, you might as well just be earning points instead of taking them. Because taking points, it sucks to have points taken from you, right? And then, so that's a bad feeling. You're creating a bad feeling on one side of that game. But if it's a 3-player, if player A takes a turn, instead of gaining points to take points from player B, player C is the only one that made out on that. It's just not good design in my point of view, anyway.
So to me, though, that kind of design leads to king making, and I hate that.
It does. Yeah,
I hate games where you can sabotage somebody because it's like, well, I'm not winning, so now I'm gonna come and screw you over, and then so and so's gonna win. And usually that becomes an issue when you play with couples.
Yeah,
because then they help each other, and then you're like, great. So
well, in my case, we attack each other, but either way.
You ever played? I forget who did it. Dice City.
Yes.
Right. So you build your thing on your 4 red or whatever it is, right? And then someone can attack it for whatever. I always felt that was useless because I'm wasting my turn taking out something and not progressing my own.
Right.
And you just turn around and build that kind of. I agree. I think I wouldn't hard pass it because I love Dice City, but
I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Dice City. Honestly, I didn't know it was there until I got into the whole, reading the rules and stuff. But and also kind of bothers me. Like there are people, obviously there are people that like that kind of thing, but when someone goes, "Oh no, I love to do this thing and hurt somebody's points and stuff," I kind of don't want to hang around that person. Like, I'm like, why? Why do you want to actually make someone feel bad?
Yeah.
There's something up with that. I don't. You should look at yourself.
Yeah, I'm very much the type that when I play games and there's the chance to go and destroy something somebody else has done versus continuing to further my own path and make points that way, I always choose to continue to further, like, to basically play my own game. It's like, I'll do my own thing, you do yours. And the only time that that will change is if we're getting close to the end and then I see that it's like, okay, yeah, the only way I have a shot here is if I go and sabotage your crap.
Right.
But otherwise,
yeah,
it's like I'm very much like I like to do my thing. Don't come and touch my stuff. And it's part of the reason why, like, Carcassonne is a little bit infuriating in that sense when somebody comes and sneaks into your castle and attaches themselves, and it's like, God damn it, I built this thing. And it's like, leave me alone, go build your own stuff. And yeah, like I can see that, how it's
it just makes me think, like, if you enjoy tearing someone's thing down more than building your own, then you need to go home and rethink your life. Obi-Wan advice. There you go.
Obi-Wan.
Love it.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's my number 4.
So we're on to me. I'm gonna go with I hate to say it, but
GMT.
If we're talking about, like, grabbing the box and, like, I don't know anything about the game,
It should be good.
If the cover art is dreadful, I'm just not gonna pick it up. Like, I don't like to be that shallow, but it's like I need the cover to look somewhat decent. And maybe it's the reason I've never played Stone Age. It's just like those kind of games, it's like the cover is not appealing. Grand Austria Hotel, same thing. The cover is just gill. And I don't know. I'm sure the games are fine.
No, I totally get that. I mean, the front of the box should be the entryway to picking up the game, and some people just fall hard on that. And I don't necessarily agree with Stone Age. I could see Grand Austria Hotel. I hate that artwork, but
But wouldn't you then, if it had really, all right, I'm just going to play devil's advocate the whole fucking time tonight. This is what I'm going to do.
I mean, you're just going to be Mike. Yeah.
I'm just going to be me, but just more me. If you picked up a game with good art and then you open it up and one, the art doesn't transfer into the components, and two, the game is shit, wouldn't you be mad that they tricked you into buying the game because of the art?
Yep.
Yeah. That'll be her number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just wait. I'm not through the whole list yet. No.
Okay.
No, it's definitely. So here's the thing: is when I see I see a box. Hey Matt, when I see a box with really nice art, I will pick up the box and I flip it over, and then I look for what does the overall game look like. And if it seems like the cover was like a ploy to get me to just grab the box, and I see that the game looks nothing like it, then I will go on BGG and it's like, okay, I need to know more before I buy this thing, because it looks nothing like, it looks like they're trying to trick you. But yeah, like when it comes down to even like getting my interest, if the box looks dreadful, I'm just not even like, I pass right over it. So
I can understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, like
see, I like
because somebody brought it and opened it up and said, "Here."
I like that just because it makes me think of the whole what was that? The how to pass a bill thing or whatever it was.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. But I also would never pick that up on a shelf. I'd be like, okay, that's a thing. Ooh, dragon, and
But is this a hard pass?
No, not for me. But that's her hard pass. She can.
I'm just saying.
No. No, but something like that where it's just text and it's obviously catchy and it makes you want to know more about the game just by the name of it. So that I would pick up and look at the back and be like, okay, what's this game about? But like ugly artwork or what I deemed, obviously, some people might like it, what I deemed to be unappealing artwork on a box cover will be a huge deterrent in me even like looking into it.
Are you also counting basically themes that aren't exciting to you? Because
You
I
could
mean,
probably wrap that in.
yeah. Well, I mean, because what if you had a really well drawn, I don't know, take out the trash cover? Like the game is, you get to take out the trash.
What is your thing? Doing the dishes? Something makes you feel like you're doing the dishes?
Yeah.
Feeding your workers.
Yeah, feeding your workers is doing the dishes. Yeah, what if it was doing the dishes game, but the artwork was just amazing?
I would pick it up. I'd be like, what is this? Yeah, like to me, I don't know.
All right.
It's
Now I got to
I'm a
make that game.
person. I don't know.
Cool.
All right,
Mike, what publisher do you hate next?
Avalon Hill is my next one.
Oh my god, are you for real?
No. Are you
So
serious?
again, I wrote. Hold on. Wait a second.
Hey, they made Betrayal on House of the Hill.
Hold on.
Is
So
that-
my exceptions are
Oh, God.
Betrayal on House of the Hill,
You know what a hard pass is, right?
Queen's Gambit. I don't think that they represent what ASL or Avalon Hill does, but they're the Civilization one. I never ever want to play that game. They do all of the ASL stuff, the Advanced Squad Leader. Never ever want to play that stuff. There's nothing about their lineup of games that I want to play. So if I see the majority of the time Avalon Hill or ASL stuff, I'm out.
Okay.
Hmm.
What game is it that made you hate it so much?
Just looking at it, it doesn't look appealing to me. Like all those little cardboard chits that you're putting out, and you're trying to figure. Again, it becomes more of like, it seems like it's a history assignment than it does a game, and I don't want to have a history assignment on the table with people. That's true.
Reading Michael's comment.
That's true. Yeah, I'm only doing this for fame and fortune with the 9 people that are watching right now. That's exactly why I hate all games. This is all just a green screen. None of this is real.
Yeah.
Fortune
You
and
got a
glory, kid.
backdrop.
Fortune and
Before
glory.
the show, he rolls down like this screen,
Yep.
and it's just a backdrop of games.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So Avalon Hills is another hard pass.
That's just calling out games.
I'll get there.
Gloomhaven. Oh, I love that game. Gloomhaven was great.
All right. All right.
All right.
So our number 3, changing to banner. See,
Gloomhaven seems like one of those legacy kind of conversations, right? Like Gloomhaven, I feel like you're playing Tapestry once and you're like, I played it. Gloomhaven, I don't know if you like that intro scenario. I don't know. You got to play that a couple times, and some people might not have the time, like we talked about with the legacy format.
well, it's a campaign, not legacy, right?
I'm just saying, you might not
same
have the
kinda
time to
idea.
devote to it, right?
All right. So my number 3 was touched on a little bit in comments.
You can come on the show anytime you want, Mike.
Speaking of that, my number 3 is Photos for Art,
Oh.
which Terraforming Mars has a big chunk of.
What
there-
about the game Earth that's on Kickstarter or that just finished?
So I didn't back it. And that was the first flag as to why. But I will say there is an exception, since we're getting to throw those in there and stuff. And the exception is if you go into those photos and do some awesome Photoshop trickery and stuff. So like flying, leaping frog, whatever it is, the people that do
Oh, yeah.
Last
Flying
Night
Frog.
on Earth,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They take photos, but then they put it in Photoshop, they color it, they put all kinds of details and stuff on it, so it becomes a piece of art that's a little more interesting. If you just take a picture of a butterfly and stick it on a card, it just makes it look like a prototype. And it makes me feel like every time I look at a game box and I look at it, my mind immediately goes to like the meeting room of the developers and the designers and stuff, and the conversations that go on. And people are saying stuff like, let's just use photos. And do I really want to buy a game where people are just like, just do this? Let's not have an artist. Let's not spend money on an artist. Let's not think about it. Let's just get photos off of iStock or something. I don't want a game where people just kind of, push that part aside and go, it's not important.
See, okay, so to be the devil's advocate, so a game like Earth, what's interesting about that is that all of the images that Connor chose for the game, so obviously he went through like thousands of images to pick what he felt were appropriate for the cards that he chose. What's funny is that you would see these pictures on Facebook and you'd be like, damn, that's a nice picture. But then you put it in a game and you're going to be like, that looks prototype-ish.
Right, because, part of the joy for me in board games is looking at art, because I'm an artist. I love looking at new styles and different ways of painting things. And I like thinking about the choices that the artist took and maybe what kind of direction they got. Like all of that goes into one card I'm looking at, instead of like, oh, look, they went to iStock.
What if they physically took the pictures? What if I designed a game and I went outside and took every picture that was in the game, like with my own camera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the flying frog thing, you could tell they set up an entire scene. People wearing costumes, lighting, everything.
Sure.
That's a little more artistic.
Tree, though? What if it was a squirrel in a tree or a bird?
Yeah, photography is an art form. So if I can tell from the card that you actually put a lot of effort and created this art, this photography and something, like I said with the flying frog thing, then I'm like, cool, great. But and like what I think it was Matt, he was saying, like IP games that use just pictures from the show and stuff. Like when they did that with Firefly, I was like, really? You can't get a great artist to draw up stuff. Like Star Wars Outer Rims is awesome because they got artists to redraw things and,
Interesting.
Yeah, I get it. With IP stuff, it's, first of all, with IP stuff, normally your contract's real short, right? You don't have time for an artist and all that. And IP stuff is a little more forgivable for me. I don't like it. I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather see some awesome artwork done for it. But I can understand why that happens. Like I said, whenever you go into the meeting room in my head of developers and stuff, if it's an IP game, I can see them go, oh, we don't have time. Let's take images and stuff. And that's more forgivable. It sounds like, okay, at least, they use their time wisely on game instead of that kind of thing. But so it doesn't bother me as much as on IP stuff, but still.
I'm with Michael on this one. I highly doubt that Upper Deck was like, no, you only get one image on that Marvel game. Like to have the same friggin' thing, it was a little much.
All right.
Yeah. So good comments, guys. Good comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I'm pushing buttons.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to pick another one. We've talked about this one before, but I'm going to say it again. Player elimination. Get rid of that. It's kind of ties into the person leaving the room, but so it's probably one of the reasons why I don't own Clank. I love that game, but we played it with my sister and her boyfriend unfortunately got eliminated quite quickly. And then we ended up playing for another like 30, 40 minutes. So
that sucks. 30, 40 minutes after
it was a while.
Well, when they die, they're supposed to go up at the top and start triggering more pools, and then there's only like 4 or 5 rounds you get after that.
Well,
sure
it
you
was a
played that right?
4-player game. It was a 4-player game, so I don't know. It felt like it was at least a half hour. That
Yeah, like if somebody dies, they go up at the top, and then their next turn they add a cube to the draw thing.
So I
and you
think
have
we
to
ended
draw.
up doing that for him because he was like, "Well, this is uninteresting." That's the thing, right? It's
Could have
like,
played better.
Yeah,
well, sure.
last time that happened to us, the player who was there was like, "Okay, who can I kill along with me?" Like they got into it, kind of thing.
But yeah, I think it was unexpected how quickly he ended up dying. So there was some deflation going on. But yeah, so to me, player elimination is probably the equivalent of you getting like points stolen from you, like that moment of like, well, this sucks. Like everybody else is still playing and I'm not, or it's not a fun feeling.
Is it forgivable for short games? 15-minute games?
That was my devil's advocate question.
Yeah, kind of. Like it has to be.
If it's the last person standing and it's a 10-minute game,
yeah,
but you want to eliminate, but you can back and you're playing again. Like if you're sitting there for a half an hour, 45 minutes, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, I could probably make it work. I mean, yeah, like love letter is not bad. Yeah, you can get eliminated and still,
So what you're saying is
long games. I'm
what
saying
you're saying it's a soft pass. Okay, good. Can we go back to rename the episode?
I've never played King of Tokyo.
I actually agree with King of Tokyo, and sometimes it can be a little longer than just a few minutes, but I will say it's actually fun to watch it be played. So whenever you die, you're like, I can't believe you hit him that hard. Okay, like you're still kind of in it.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
They have to start combining player elimination with give that person something to do after. So, okay, like Clank, you're pulling the cubes. Sure, it's not the most exciting thing, but it's something. But yeah, like if the person is out, like there's got to be something that they can do or that they can add to the game where it still keeps them involved. That would make it better. But yeah,
become a ghost.
Yeah. So that was my number 3.
Go on.
Wait, what is Matt talking about?
Oh, because I like to watch the game.
I'm like, well, I think I missed something up.
We all have a dark side.
Hard pass, Matt. All right, you're number 3, Mike.
Oh, me. Hold on.
Check your phone.
Okay, I'm going with Charades.
Anything that has publisher?
Anything that's going on with Charades, I'm out. Except
okay,
Monica.
Hold on. I need to clarify. So what do you, and this is a language thing, but like what do you consider charades? Is it when you're acting out or is when you have to guess something? It's when you're acting out something?
Well, typically when you're playing a game that involves charades, everyone takes a turn being the idiot up front that's acting out whatever the other idiots have to guess. Okay. So I don't want to be part of that because I don't want to end up being the idiot that's acting out something in front of everyone else. I'm not saying that there's enough liquor that can make that happen. I'm just saying an overarching rule, charades, I'm out, except for monikers. The way the monikers works is it's a 3-tiered system where in the first round, you can give any clues you want for your team to guess what the card is, right? Except obviously the name of the card. And it's a public pool. So that pool of cards, however many there are there for all 3 rounds. In round 2, it's the same deck of cards, but you're only allowed to give one-word clues. And then round 3, you act it out. And I was apprehensive to play it because I heard round 3, you have to act it out. But the first time we played it, after round 1 and round 2, it was almost everyone almost intuitively started doing something with their hands to act out the card to try and get somebody to guess. So by round 3, all I was doing was picking off people that had already done some sort of gesture for like fucking narwhal or whatever the hell it was. So I didn't really feel like it was true charades. But if I see something about charades, I'm done.
Oh,
Liquor,
yeah.
well, certain types of liquor are a hard pass. Like me and tequila do not get along at all.
No?
That would be a hard pass.
Yeah, I mean, there was I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it had these little characters, different colored characters. They were like yellow, blue, and you could actually change hats and faces on them and stuff, and they were your player pieces. But you'd go around, and it was you could, depending on where you land, you were either drawing something for your team.
Oh, you're talking about Cranium.
Cranium, that's what it is.
I love that game.
Yeah. So one of those is acting it out.
Yeah.
And then one of them is making something with Play-Doh.
Yep.
Another one's drawing, and another one is
There's a humming one.
Yeah. There's like a humming one.
Yeah.
So is that bother you when it's just like part of it?
Again, right? Like if I become the team member that has to act it out, I don't want to be part of it. So if I hear charades, I'm 99% of the time, I'm out. I'm passing.
Oh man.
Like I really wanted to put word games on here because I suck at word games. Like if it's like come up with as many 3-letter words as possible, I'm probably really good. But most word games I suck. And the game, and I've bitched about it before, Anomia, we played with I don't think we played with Alan, but I had played it with Bobby and Keith. I don't remember who else, Dan maybe. And then I was sold on like, no, you got to play it with more people. It's much better. And I had such a horrible time because I can't, that type of game. And it's a word game. You're coming up with a word based on a clue, but like Wordsy by Formal Ferret, I love. It's a great game. So I can't really say word games because some word games do it really well. I just know the what comes with doing charades. Like I don't want to experience that. I'm not, contrary to some people's opinions, I'm not that kind of person. So I don't want to be up in front of a crowd doing that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So charades is that.
I think for me, because of the sign language, it's like it comes naturally. Where it's like I'm used to using my hands and doing.
You don't use sign language while you're doing it, though, right?
No, but in sign language, there are some
cheating.
things that are like obvious. So it's like it's helpful to know sign language to do charades. I'm just
because Erin knows a lot of sign language, and she's taught me a little bit of it, so enough to where we can say things snarky about people at the table if we want to each other. But whenever it comes to charades and stuff, we always have to we purposely stay away from doing anything like that. So
yeah, see,
all right.
That's what I was told too, Andrew. But I never want to experience that game again.
I didn't like that game that much either. I will tell you though, I'm not a huge fan of word games and stuff. I don't mind them. I'll play them with other people who want to play them. But I love Letter Tycoon. Brad Brooks made it. I would always recommend that to anybody, even if you don't like word games. So.
Never played it.
Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. If the game was about talking with your hands, that's a different story. If it's acting out like you need to be a greyhound in a dog race, I'm not doing it. Like there's nothing about acting something out that is enjoyable.
All right, now I want to see it. Be a greyhound. Be a greyhound. Show us the greyhound.
Hard pass. I'll do it off camera.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll do it on the Discord later.
Sure.
Which is off camera.
You can turn your camera on, but yeah.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, charades.
Everybody wants to see it.
All right. Fine. We're not going to
give you my little ball next time is running like a greyhound in a race.
Drink some more of that Wampa there.
Not happening.
All right. So our number 2. All right, so this is kind of the opposite of what Katia said about the front art. I hate I will pass on games that have a bad table presence that you can see on the back. You know, you turn it around
Mhm.
and you look at it, and it's like, all right, it's 5 green squares, and you're putting, you know, just the basic of meeple on it, and it just looks really boring laid out.
Yep.
Like table presence to me is everything, because when I work on making games, that's what I think of globally of what it's going to finally look at, and then work in the details, right? And there's a lot of times where I see games that are just like, man, they didn't think about how this would look. Like you look at it and it's just like, this is just a brown square on someone's table.
Mhm.
Like you could have
You
put
know,
more in. You could draw some grass on there. You could do something, you
Yep.
know, add some artwork, do something interesting. It costs almost nothing to make those punch outs where they go together like this, and you got a 3D punch out to build up some of the table presence, you know. Man, make it fun. I always try to think about, if you're at a convention, make your game to where people walking by are going to stop and look at what people are playing.
Yeah.
And
I
when I
get
turn
that.
a box around and it's just like flat and boring, I'm like, no thanks.
It's like Holy from Floodgate. Like that, the table presence on that game, it's colorful, it pops,
You're going to stop.
cleared
Yeah.
off the table, you're gonna see it. Yeah. And then it draws people in, and then what are you guys doing?
What did you just grab, Katia?
So this is a game where probably you would have passed, and it's by our friends at Arcane Wonders. The cover of Senshi looks like this.
That looks great. I'd pick it up.
Okay, but then you would turn it around and probably put it back down. Oh, it's
Yeah.
upside down.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't interest me at all.
Okay.
Cards with tokens
But
on them.
the game is great. It's just stacks of tokens. I'm just gonna show it because it's really quick. You start by setting up
Yes.
these
Absolutely.
tokens.
What Michael's saying right here.
What?
When games don't even include what the table presence looks like, that's
Right. That's even worse.
worrisome.
But basically, you're stacking these things in different stacks all over the table. And on your turn, you can either draw one, or you can, I think, move one, like the top one, and move it to a different stack. And so you're limited in what you can do. But basically, you have, like, on your little card, you have stacks of all 4 colors, and you're trying to basically not have the lowest stacks of anybody around the table. So you're always trying to make sure you're above everybody else. So it's super simple, and the table presence is very simple, but it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, there are a lot of games that have very simple. I mean, if you look at Nidalee, it just looks like a couple cards on the table. But even then, they took some card stands and, you know, propped them up. They made big giant diamond thingies that could be tokens and stuff. Red 7.
Love that game.
Red 7's a good game. No Thanks is a good game. There's a lot of good games that are just cards on the table or something like that. But it's got to hook me. I got to turn around and go like, ooh, that looks fun. It's the same. I may have passed up on some great games, but
Like, does that say, ooh, that looks fun?
no. But that's not even a table presence. And besides, if I'm already picking up a game that small, I already know what I'm going to see on the back. I'm going to see cards, and that's fine. I already know what that's at. What I'm talking about is like I pick up a game that has dragons and stuff on the front. Yeah, that doesn't look fun. That has dragons and awesome stuff on the front, and I turn it around and it's just like, you know, a couple cards and some squares and just boring stuff. It's game's more than just the cover of the box.
Oh, is it my turn? My goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have to go with the 3 hour plus for me. Like the playtime. I just can't. Like I would again, if somebody said, "Hey, do you want to play this game?" we're going to be at it for 6 hours. Okay, as long as I know that ahead of time and I'm prepared and I have food. But I will never buy a game that plays for that long. Maybe except for, I know Darwin's Journey has a long playtime, but the game looked so good that I went like, what the hell? So that's my soft pass.
So that's always been a curiosity to me. So how long is your game night usually?
So I'm thinking back when we used to do Friday night game nights. I want to say it was between 3 and 4 hours. So normally we would try and get 2 games in.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't understand is if you're having fun with a game, why does it matter if it takes 3 hours or 30 minutes, or as long as you're having fun all the way through? Now, if it's a long drag, like you got to wait 20 minutes for your turn, that to me, that's not about the duration of the game. That's the duration of how long it gets to your turn. There's a lot of games that are long, but you're doing stuff all the time through it.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that experience with much.
I mean,
like aside from, okay, so Gloomhaven, there were scenarios that were long, but I start to get antsy by the time you're past the 2-hour mark, 2.5-hour mark. Like I start feeling like, okay, like I want to be doing something else now.
To me, it's kind of like to me, it's kind of like
yes.
like,
oh my god, Obsession is freaking long.
Yeah,
oh, I've never played it.
If you do, play the short version because the long version is too long.
Yeah. I played the short version with a teach, and I'm pretty sure we were on Tabletop Simulator for at least 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And you guys played it at the Gathering, the full version with a teach. You're crazy. But yeah, that was a long game.
Yeah, the reward doesn't answer for the time. Like if we're at that game for 3.5 hours, the reward of playing that game doesn't feel good. Whereas like I've talked about Twilight Imperium, we were at that game for 11.5 hours, which is like, it's a day of a convention. And it was amazing. But we played Obsession. We played the long version of Obsession, and there's really cool things in the game. They're doing really nice, like the mechanisms of it, the way things are working, the puzzle of how do I get the right things to pull off the right party, whatever. But the payoff, I guess not the reward, the payoff doesn't equal the amount of time spent on that game.
Like I know people that would rather watch 4 hours of 30-minute shows, even different shows, than 2 hours of a movie.
Right.
Like they're like, oh, 2 hours of a movie, that's such a commitment. But they sit down at a TV for like 4 hours and watch different shows.
Yep.
What's the difference? You're sitting in the same spot, looking at the same screen. As long as you're enjoying that time.
I didn't say I wouldn't play them. I wouldn't buy it.
I know. And I'm not trying to jump on your pick or anything. I've just never understood.
But you kind of are.
I've just never understood it. That's why I'm doing that.
Like, I just need to be prepared mentally. I think if I walk into a game like that, where it's like, all right, tonight we're playing one game and it's probably going to be 4 hours. But yeah, like like Michael said, the payoff better be worth it. Like I want to make sure it's really fun. Like I think back at when we played Dark Moon, I'm pretty sure we were at it for more than 3 hours. It was a big group of people, but it was awesome. Like it was really fun. And yeah, the ending was epic. But yeah, like it was yeah, I don't know, it's just not something I would buy because I'm not a good game teacher to begin with. So I can't get a game that's a 3-hour game and show up at a friend's house and be like, hey, let's play this. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to buy it. So other than Darwin's Journey, like I said, it's my one exception.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, YouTube shows are like the little 15-minute point salads and stuff, whereas TikTok is just like flip a coin game. It's just like instant. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing. But what's the difference if you're spending 2 hours sitting there? What's the difference in the type?
Variety, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just not something I would buy because I'm not a good game teacher to begin with. So I can't get a game that's a 3-hour game and show up at a friend's house and be like, hey, let's play this. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to buy it. So
I don't know. As long as you're engaged, I think a lot of times, I'm not saying yours is, but I think a lot of time people who say they don't like 3-hour games are really saying they don't like games that you have to wait 20 minutes for your next turn, which I would totally agree on no matter how long that game is.
I don't know, but so I have several Lacerda games that I have yet to play, like a bunch of them that I have yet to play because I know they're intense and they're long, and it's like I need somebody to teach me those games because I'm not gonna bring it. Luckily I have a friend who knows some Lacerda games, so at some point I'm sure it will happen. But they've been like I've had them for over a year, and yeah, so this is why I don't buy those type of games because they end up collecting dust, and I just don't get the chance to play them. So
I have a
long teach is hard.
It's an aside.
Yes, Shannon, charcuterie breaks. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to know what the hell it is with charcuterie. All of a sudden, it's in commercials. People are talking about it. Like, what is this? I know it's been around. It's not a new thing, but like, why are so many people into charcuterie all of a sudden?
I don't know. It's like the new. I don't know. I'm sure there's been other fads.
Yeah. I'm curious. Like all of a sudden, I see it everywhere.
I haven't seen it at all.
I think it's because those wooden boards became more and more popular, and people started doing more like woodworking at home and making nice like charcuterie boards. But they're really just like it's a cutting board, damn it. Like it's a freaking cutting board. But then people found a different purpose for them. I don't know who started putting meat on a cutting board. But like to me,
you're putting out a bunch of snacks on one plate rather than dirtying a whole bunch of stuff.
That's probably the idea. But to me, I have those. We're getting so off topic, by the way. But
I said it was an aside.
Sure. But to me, it's like, isn't it better to have them on something that is nicely washable than on like a piece of wood that is going to soak up the oil from the, I don't know, but
it adds flavor. It's like those, what are those, the stoneware that you put in the oven? It's supposed to like soak in the flavor. And then,
at first I thought you guys were talking about a game called charcuterie.
No.
But you're actually talking about the food on.
Yeah, but somebody's making. You better believe somebody out there is making a charcuterie board game. I would put money on that.
Well, if the table presence looks good, I might look into it.
Yeah. As long as they do artwork on the cover and not take a picture, you're good.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
All right, Mike. What's your number 2? Who do you hate?
It's not who, it's what.
Okay.
Roll and move.
I knew that'd be on there.
Yeah.
There was an exception. I can't really put Rallyman GT, the new Rallyman, in because technically it's a move and roll, which I think is really cool. Like that they changed the mechanism. You are moving your race car and you're allotting dice, but then you roll your dice after you decide what you want to do. And then your dice could roll into a crash, which I think it's basically you move and then roll, which is neat. There's a game called Quest for the Antidote, which I thought could be the exception to this. And basically you're poisoned and you have a timer. You have 50 breaths to take to find the antidote, get back to the apothecary to save yourself. And everything you do is a breath, but it's basically a roll and move. So you roll your dice, you move. If you fight a monster, it's a breath. If you move wherever, it's a breath. Like everything, that mechanism, this is where it goes back to like, I try and find the good in everything. I really like that countdown mechanism of you're going to die and you have this limit to do it. And everything you do takes a breath. But basically it's a roll and move. And I wanted it to be better than it was based on that. And it wasn't. So basically, if it's roll and move, if the mechanism is roll and move, I'm out.
Wait. We played Cubitos. That's a roll and move.
But it's a
dice building or back building, whatever you call it, but it's still a roll and move.
Roll and move.
It is, but you're not stuck with the same D6s and you're rolling D6s and I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna roll a 2 and I move 2. And then Chris rolls and he rolls a 6 and he moves 6. Then I'm gonna roll again and I'm gonna roll a 2. And then Chris rolls and then he's gonna roll a 6. Like there's no mitigation in bad rolls there with Cubitos, you're deciding which dice you want to take into your pool, which are going to give you more abilities and more sides to get something cool. So you are rolling and moving, but I don't see it as the main mechanism, although it is the main mechanism of the game. I think it adds more to it.
I was going to say roll and move is hard because there's actually a spectrum of roll. Like there's the hard, you roll a 6 and that's where you go. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to go 6 and that's it kind of thing. And that's the worst case scenario of it. And then there's like Merchants of Venus where you roll 3 dice, you get to take dice and put them in different places to activate mitigations to allow you to do different things. You know, the more you allow mitigations and or you can go up to the number that you roll and all this stuff, it starts getting more acceptable. But
that's Alien Frontiers, right? You roll and then it's dice placement, it's dice allotment. It's my Batman game is the same thing. The one that Richard and I did. You roll your dice and then you select one to do, and there is mitigation with the bat signal that lets you increase it by a pip or decrease it by a pip. I'm saying straight up, here's a D6, a standard D6. You roll it and you move that amount. Like I don't. If you can pop up like Jamaica does that. Jamaica's a roll and move, but at least you have a selection of I'm going to pick this one for movement and this one for not movement. So at least there's a little bit of if you rolled like shit, then you can kind of hedge one way or the other. Where like other games is just straight up that's what you rolled.
Okay, what about ghost fighting treasure hunters?
See, now that adds more to it. All right. Yep. So that's basically a roll and move. You roll and move, but you roll and either ghosts are going to be added to the house or not. And you can move up to that amount. You don't have to move that amount. So if I roll a 5, but I want to get into the room that's only 3 away to pick up the thing, then I move 3 and I'm good.
Night, Shannon. Yeah, but I like Clue is the same way. Clue, you don't have to use all your moves. You go in the room and then you stop there.
Yeah, and Clue adds a little bit more to it, right? That's deductive. That's trying to figure out. Like I enjoyed playing the Golden Girls Clue at the gathering with Robert and Julie, and who did we play with? Justin and Anne Marie, I think, too. Like I enjoyed that. It was a Golden Girls edition of Clue, but Clue gives you more, right? Rather than just like I said with Quest of the Antidote, like you roll, you move. If you roll a 5, you move 5. But shit, I want to move 4, and I don't get to go 4 because I rolled a 5, and there's nothing I can do about that. That doesn't feel good.
So your hard pass is the worst version of roll and move without mitigation.
Sure.
Okay. Because everything else I hear is, well, it has this, and it has this, and it has this little change, and this little thing, which makes it more and more acceptable. Right.
Sure. If they can do something to it, then just I roll a 6, I have to move 6, and I miss. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Right now, you're talking about mitigating that bad roll, because otherwise there's nothing. It's like player elimination. There's nothing I can do about it, or there's nothing I can do. You're going to take points away from me, and I can't prevent that in any way. Same thing.
Oh.
So that's what I was saying, earlier, is that like the mechanism at its core might suck, or it might not be our thing, but there are always ways that designers can make them work if they combine it with something else or they add something. Like there's always ways to make it work. It's just that there are games where that hasn't gotten done, and that's where they lose us, kind of thing.
Wait a minute. Did you work on that, Andrew?
What? I think he told us that.
Was that the episode I wasn't on?
Might have been. I think he mentioned that. Maybe you did or didn't, but
he's worked on so much stuff. How are we supposed to remember?
We had a great time with it. We even laughed. One of the items is the recliner, and we were like joking about like Estelle Getty dragging the recliner from one end of the condo to the other. Like we were having a really good time with it.
There's only 2 rooms in that show.
We only see 2. No,
there's the kitchen and the living room.
Right. But we end up in a bedroom or 2 throughout the series. Not heavy. It's mostly the kitchen, the front porch area, the kitchen, and the living room.
I've never watched that.
That's great. Yeah. So roll and move.
All right,
I-
Chris,
I'm
back
being-
to you.
I guess Michael DeVito knows his Golden Girls.
Right. I mean, not often, right? We're not in there. Yeah, I'm with Matt. You're in there for like a scene, maybe
I
every.
haven't seen it since the 90s, so
There you go. You should watch it again.
all right. So our number one, or my number one at least.
I like how our viewers are like Golden Girls enthusiasts, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, we
No.
have seen this.
They show different rooms.
I love it.
All right, so my number one is a game that is trying to be everything: cooperative, competitive, solo modes, all this different stuff.
Yeah, just
When I turn a game over and I see a game says, "Oh, you can play it cooperative, or you could play it one versus many, you could play it, all against each other," I'm like, pick one. You
Okay,
have
hold
to
on.
pick one.
For clarification purposes,
Okay.
are you talking about base game? Like the base game is trying to do it all? Or
When you pick up the game and it says either play cooperatively or competitively or one versus many or solo or
okay, because there are some games where with the expansion
no, I'm not talking about expansions.
okay.
No.
Just
A-
make it
And the reason, and that's the thing, like when whoever the designer was or designers came together, they said, let's make a game that, and whatever that is, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see on the box. All the other stuff is them panicking that they didn't make a good enough game and thinking, oh, we got to grab up the people that like competitive games, or well, what if there aren't enough people that like this type of game?
so
Like,
this
just
becomes
commit
the
to your
pressure.
game.
Yeah.
Commit
it's
to
the
the
pressure
kind
of
of game.
people. They're too demanding. That's the thing is
They're listening to the wrong audience. They need to listen to the audience that they are originally trying to build that game for. And one of the things, like, I always think about it like, do you want to plate with the best bacon in the world, the best toast in the world, or the best eggs in the world? Or do you want a plate that has all of that combined, but it's all just kind of, but it's all like mediumness? Like you would try like the best bacon in the world plate before you just go to normal stuff, right? When I see all of these different modes jammed in together, I feel like the creators didn't have confidence in what they were creating.
I can see that.
I could see that. I'm
I
surprised
mean, there's
you put
a
bacon in your example, considering you don't like bacon.
But we know what he wouldn't pick.
it's true.
Right.
There you go.
Uh,
Again.
Charcuterie.
Now I
Yes.
want to have a breakfast plate. God darn it.
Yeah, breakfast sounds good, right?
oh,
You're welcome.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to be mean about it because it's currently running, but there's a campaign right now that says on it, it's got all these different modes. And the minute I was like, ooh, this looks good. This looks good. I read that. I was like, nope, and hit X. I didn't even go past that.
Gotcha.
And then there's those that would appreciate that because they also play competitively, cooperatively, solo. Like they
Yep.
would want that variety. So maybe
Yeah,
they want the mediocre bacon and the mediocre eggs, where you want the best eggs possible. Right.
I'll take the mediocre everything. Give me
Right.
everything. Because like I started playing a little bit more solo stuff. So I'm almost getting to the point where I will see a game doesn't have a solo mode. And I'm like,
Oh, don't be one of those.
Yeah,
No,
I will
but
say
I'm
solo's a
not
little bit
there
different.
yet, but
Solo's a little bit different, especially in today's market and stuff, right? I don't mind if someone went and added solo to it as long as they didn't up my MSRP to do it.
Yeah.
But if they're like, oh, here's 5 more cards to make it solo, cool, fine, have that in there. But just know that solo game is a second thought. It's an afterthought.
Sure.
They didn't make it
But-
as a solo game.
wow, tell us how you really feel, Matt.
I want to
I
see
think
him
that's
play that
because
orchard.
he doesn't have time to play solo. That's why. But anyways,
Yeah, I don't mind if solo's in the game as long as you're not making me pay extra for it.
yeah.
Yep.
But
if I see that there's been like a fan-made solo mode, that's good enough for me. That's the other thing too, is sometimes like it doesn't have it, but it's like, oh, but on BGG somebody made a solo. Oh, sure, okay. Like I just like to have the option, because if at some point I want to, like this weekend, it's like, okay, I'm gonna play something solo. Like I like to have options. I don't want to be stuck with like just my Lacerda to play solo. Like I want choices. So
I agree, Matt. Yeah, I have video games for solo.
well, I don't have that anymore.
That's how I feel about, and nothing against the company. And I know there's a ton of people that love them and their stuff, but GMT, Avalon Hill, like those type of games, that's not what I want to be at the table for, whether it's a 2-hour game or 4 30-minute games. I don't want to spend my time in that world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I like my solo games to be short and easy to set up. So
yeah, like Orchard, right? You a couple cards,
yeah.
cards, you play them, you do your thing, and either you tank really badly or you're posting pictures that you beat my score at some point.
Oh, I do want to say
I haven't played it since. I don't even know where it is. It's in one.
I do want to say that there is an exception to this rule for me.
Ooh,
what is it?
So another soft pass.
There is a game. No, it's a hard pass after this game. This game gets its own shell of protection against this rule, but everything else gets it.
So it's a soft pass up until this game. Up until after this game.
Chris, we may have found you a best friend in our comments.
Oh yeah.
If the game mentioned
that's not nice. That hurts my feelings though.
Yes, but I said Chris might have found a best friend.
Yeah, I mean, co-op isn't. I do play some co-ops. I played Marvel United a few, I think last week or something, but they're rare. It's rare for me to get into co-ops. But anyway, no, my one game that is the exception, and the guests from last week will appreciate that, is Detective City of Angels, because you can play that with the what's it called? It starts with a C. Chisel. Thank you. You play that with the Chisel. You can play it. I meant to ask him too which one he prefers or which one it was meant to be, but I always play as the Chisel. I only play the one mode. I won't play the other modes. So I just pretend like those other modes don't even exist, and that's how it gets to exist in that little bubble. So.
And you can't do that with other ones that say you can play it as one versus all co-op.
No, because here's what happened. Here's how it slipped by. I saw it in Kickstarter, and I thought, this looks awesome, back, and I ran away like I do everything. So I didn't see any extra stuff at all. That's how I am as a backer. I go, yep, looks good, and I never look at it, never read updates again until I have to go to a backer kit or something. So I didn't realize it had those other modes in it. So whenever I got it, I was like, okay, here's the thing. Oh, it's got other modes. It did concern me, but then I played it and I was like, this is one of my favorite games ever. And I'll never try those other modes. I don't need to. This is what I wanted in the first place. So that's all I have.
Interesting.
So, but to me, when I see a game that says we have all these modes, I immediately think, oh, it's a crap game, because they had to make these other modes to try to make everybody else happy. Don't make everybody else happy. Make your one audience like totally enthusiastic about your one game.
But okay, so I'm thinking as like when you put your designer brain on, if there is a game that you're working on that you're like, okay, so this could be the main way it's played. However, there could be this variant and this variant that might appeal to other people. And it's like, it tweaks it in this direction, tweaks it this way. And to me, that just provides people with more option. It doesn't mean that the main way is poor or mediocre. It's just that you may have had a secondary idea that it's like, ooh, but this twist is kind of neat. And
right. I don't want your secondary idea. I want your one idea that is the best version of that game ever.
Yeah, but
it's
maybe those two
cooperative.
things don't mesh together, and you want to provide option. No, like how is that a bad thing?
Because it's totally possible for you to have a great game and a okay version of something else and an okay version of something else, or even maybe the top echelon is a great cooperative, a great competitive, like you just knocked it out of the park kind of thing. Those probably exist, but they're so very
Mm.
few and far in between. It's going to be such a rarity. What's going to happen is one of those games, one of those modes is good, maybe if you're lucky, and the rest are crap. And I don't know which one I'm getting because I'm not playing your cooperative version. I'm playing your competitive version or something like that, right? I don't know which one. If you told me this is a competitive game, by the way, we made a solo mode. Cool. I'm not going to play the solo mode. I'm going to play your game. If you go cooperative game, by the way, we made a competitive mode. Okay, I'll play the cooperative game because that's what you meant. But they don't tell you that. They go, we made this and this and this, and they don't tell you which one it's supposed to be. No, I don't want that. I want the best version of what that game's supposed to be, and that's it.
What if, and I've seen this not often, but I see this, they tap in a designer to do the mode specifically.
Like
So-
David Churchy for the solo mode and all
Correct. So what if like Katia and Chris made the co-op of a game, you brought in Turchi to do the solo mode of the game, and then I came in as the co-op, and we're each individually known for doing really good competitive, really good solo. You know what I mean? Would that?
I would say sell it to me like that. Put it on the back and go, he did this and he did this and
And
he
they
did
often
this.
do. I mean, when
Yeah,
it's
their
when
game's
it's David
solo
Churchy,
mode created by. Yeah.
Yeah, then totally fine.
Then you're okay with it. So it
Yeah,
can
'cause-
say one versus all, solo, co-op, competitive, but as long as there was a specific attention to each of those modes by somebody else other than the same designer.
Yes, because I know whoever did it was trying to make the best version of that game.
Gotcha.
Now I might not like what it might say this person did this and yeah.
told you.
Yeah.
We
As
hang
soon as
out on
you
the
said
Discord
no
after the
co-op,
show.
I was like-
We hang out on the Discord after the show. You can get to know your new best friend afterwards.
That's where I tell you what I really think.
Ooh.
It was not another soft pass. I felt like that felt pretty hard, other than the one incident, the one game, which is
Right, but then think about the games that specifically say solo mode designed by, and then they're all in that bubble now because you'd play them.
Mhm.
I mean, technically, I don't play solo modes anyway, but I mean, that's because I don't have to. I'm lucky enough to have someone who always plays games with me.
Sure. I'm saying if it was a competitive game that marketed itself as competitive and solo and co-op, all those games that have, like Katia said, David Turchi doing specific versions, certain modes in that game.
Yeah,
now
so if
they're-
they said like Anton Waza makes the cooperative version, and I don't know who makes good everybody else make it. I don't know, Cathala makes the competitive version, right? I'd be like, sure, I'll check that out. I might even play both versions in that case.
Fair enough.
But that's a different thing. That's not what I'm saying is the hard pass. The hard passes for me is
A game that tries to do it all.
yeah, person that made one game and then tacked on a bunch of other crappy modes.
Matt said he could be on an island and not play a solo. Well, yeah, but do I live on an island? No, that's why I play solo.
Wait. I call you out on this one. If you're alone on an island, you're playing a solo mode. You're playing
Survive.
survival. You're playing survival alone.
Yeah, but he's not enjoying it.
I'm sure. I don't know many that would. Unless you had a volleyball named Wilson, then I think you might enjoy yourself.
It's actually hard because I've had a lot of ideas that would be great solo games. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it because I don't like playing it, and I'm not going to get stuck playing this for 1,000 times, So
1,000. How many
Same.
games do you play more than 5? Come on.
I have like
Is it
1,000 might be hyperbole, but it's in the 20s maybe.
Sure.
We're gonna finish our round.
Oh yeah, that was just my number one.
No,
Yeah.
just yours. All right, my last one. I can't believe I'm saying this because the game that Michael and I have worked on
Uh-oh.
is one of those in a way. It's a real-time game. Real-time
Ooh.
games.
Real time.
Ours has a real-time component where it's with the timer, right? Like as soon as that, like when the first person to finish, and then it becomes real-time in a way. So ours has a component of that. But to me, like real-time games are almost always a pass. I don't like the stress. It's not enjoyable. I will
That's interesting.
play them to, it's one of those where I will play it to indulge. It's like, you want to play it? Sure. Like what was it we played at the gathering? Stay Cool.
Yeah.
That was insane mayhem. That was stressful.
Yep.
It was funny, but it was stressful at the same time. And that, like, Magic Maze, I hate that game. I hate it.
So if you were alone on an island and you could only play Magic Maze or Point Salad, which would you?
As a solo game.
I think I would use them as shelter.
There.
I don't like it. It's just not fun to me to feel like the stress of the, like, let's do like you got to do your move, like, God. Yeah, in Magic Maze, the fact that you can't talk is even worse. Like, that's just, they combine the two things together.
Did you read Matt's comment?
That does my own salad. Yep. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, they really, they went and put two things that are frustrating together in a game. Like, it's just, yeah.
So question, is there a difference between like a timer versus other people? Like whoever does this first kind of timing?
That's stressful too, but it's a little bit more enjoyable than the timer, I find. Like, I haven't played a lot of them. I remember trying Tuki, which was like you're building something with blocks and you're trying to copy a shape that is on the card with the blocks that you have. I was doing really well, so I don't know the frustration of the game when you're not doing well. But it's just, I don't like the time pressure.
Yeah, so it's like Bananagrams is whoever finished. You're basically making words like Scrabble, but you're going as fast as you can, and whoever finishes all of their tiles first wins.
I would die playing that with Andrew.
Like Aaron destroys me at it every time. It's just awful. And even worse, like they can do a thing and say draw, and you have to draw a new tile. And every time they complete a thing, draw, and you have to draw a new tile. So you're trying to make a word, and you just shut up, stop giving me tiles, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, that doesn't sound like fun. And even like I think back at Boggle, that was stressful.
Like or games like Taboo and stuff like that.
It's time. Categories was stressful. Like that time, having that timer, that grinding noise that you just knew it was gonna go like. And it was so, like, I hate that feeling of I hate the feeling of not being able to finish what I'm doing, first of all. And I don't like the stress, the added stress. Just let me do my thing. And then when I'm done, I'm done. I don't know.
I could see that. You ever played a game called Perfection?
Don't think so.
So there's a timer. I don't know if it's 60 seconds or a minute and a half or whatever it is. But you're putting plastic shapes into the matching pieces on the board. Like they slot in. So you got this funky rhombus and circle and star, and you're picking them up and putting them in. But then when the timer goes off, the whole fucking thing pops everything out. You would lose your mind.
I used to play that all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but that reminds me of sorry, another like tangent, but that YouTube video of that box with the cut up shape, and the girl is oh my god, the girl is watching the guy put the shapes in. She's like, being recorded with a reaction.
I love
And
it.
he's like voicing out loud. So I guess the square one goes in the square hole. And then he ends up putting all of the shapes in the same hole. And she gets so
so good.
frustrated and distraught. And it's
Mhm.
hilarious. But yes,
You know,
I've never played that.
the time thing is, I think I share kind of that same idea. It's not so much a hard pass for me, but it's I don't know about this one, but it's the only reason why what's it called? Pendulum is the only Stone Mayor game I still haven't played yet.
And
Not counting Libertalia, that's not out yet.
that was as soon as I found out it had a real time
Mhm.
part to it, I was like, no.
I know. I felt the same way too, and I kept going back every night. Well, but it's a Stone Mayor game, and you like Stone Mayor, and then going back, you know, all that stuff. So
I
still
know
haven't tried it
nothing
yet.
about it. Like I've looked nothing up about the game because I know it's real time. I'm like, it's not for me.
So yes, you can play without the timers, and that is an example of my number one. Another mode that it was not meant to be like, and I don't want to play his crappy version of trying to make me happy about it. I'll either play it with the timers, I won't play it at all.
I don't want to play with timers. Well, then don't. Well, I don't want to play without the timers.
Nope, I just won't.
Exactly. So I just won't play it at all. But no, like
Not
for
all
me,
games have to be for me.
It's like for me, it's definitely like if I see a real time game, I will not buy it. I just
Yeah, I might really be there with you, just not ready to commit a hard pass to it.
Wow, that's good to know.
Unless, of course, my friends are the ones that made the game, in which case I'll probably try something.
I wouldn't say it's a real time. It
has a real time component at some
all
point.
it does is speed it up so people can take their sweet ass time putting something together,
Sure.
right? Like someone eventually will put on the clock. Like you can take as much time as you want making what you're doing, but then at some point someone's going to flip a timer and then everyone else has to speed their shit up. Like otherwise you can take as much time as you want doing it, and that's also no fun. So I wouldn't say it's real time.
Yeah.
I think there's just a timer.
I have too many exceptions to make it a hard pass for me. That's why, like, that reminds me of Galaxy Trucker.
Yeah,
Galaxy Trucker, everybody's kind of doing their thing until somebody flips the thing, and then you're like, oh, now I don't mind that so much.
That's stressful too, but I do enjoy the game. I do enjoy that one.
See, once I start thinking about it, I've got a few games with timers.
But
and
once
stuff.
it's flipped, it's like I'm freaking out. So I gotta be first. Doesn't matter if my ship is subpar. If I finish first and I'm the one who flips the time, I feel good.
Aaron and I made the mistake of playing Galaxy Trucker like 20 times before taking it to our group, which means we just slaughtered them the first time they played it, because we were like, do timer, and they were like, what? And they only had like 3 pieces on there because they didn't realize, that you don't know all the pieces and stuff.
Wow.
And after that, nobody really plays with us anymore.
So you created for them what you hate people do to you. You gave them a bad experience, and they'll never play that game again.
It's true. And I felt bad about it. We didn't think about it, but it's that Galaxy Trucker is one of those games that you get better and better and better at. And some games aren't like that. Some games you just,
a really good segue into my number one.
Okay.
Then go for it.
Yeah, the learning cut. Yeah, the learning code. Not only that, and I'll throw myself under the bus for this. We added the expansions. So
on the first play?
Yes. Well, we didn't think it was that big deal because we'd already played it like 20 times, right? Yeah, it was a horrible thing for me to do.
Those poor people probably don't play board games at all anymore.
No, they're still part of the group. They just know not to play that game. And we know better now than to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not like adding Scoundrels and Skullport to Lords of Waterdeep. That's completely different.
No, that is different. I mean, Scoundrels is not that.
No, I'm saying it's different.
Oh,
like
okay.
Adding Scoundrels to somebody's first play of Waterdeep is fine. Adding the expansions to Galaxy Trucker for somebody's first play, not fine.
Yeah, because the expansions add all these different pieces that react differently to other pieces. Like it's too much to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, then. How's it tie into your number one?
Oh, that's right, because yours was real time. Yeah. So my number one. Can you guess what my number one is?
Is it another publisher?
Is it the type of game where yeah, like if somebody gets too good at it, they crush you and yeah.
It's a very specific game.
Just one game? You picked a game?
The title of a game?
I picked a game. When I thought about this
Anomia.
as our top 5, I had talked about this before, and then I thought about it, and I feel like I don't ever want to play it again.
But that's a different.
It's a hard pass. Like, it's happened at QSCon Tuesday, where they're like, "Oh, we're playing this game. You want to play? Fuck that. I'm out."
So what is it? Is it Terraforming Mars? It's Terraforming Mars, isn't it?
Terraforming Mars.
Really?
Yep. I'm done with that game. I don't know about the Ares version that came out. I've heard good things about it, so I don't know if I can include that in. But Terraforming Mars as a game, there's I don't even want to play that with a new group of people that want to play it, because I just don't understand it. And I feel like I would know more than new people unless everyone's played it once, and then like I've experienced it and I'm done with it. And you don't want to play it with something like Chris's point. You don't want to play it, or someone had mentioned, I think Jeremy did, about Magic Maze. You don't want to play that with people that have never played it before and your experience, because it's probably super frustrating for them, because now you can't even tell them, like, you got to put the timer down to ask a question. Like, that's not fun. And Terraforming Mars, it's just got so much. I know everything in the game and I can house you with it if you've played it enough times, whereas new people are just like, it's not a good experience. So there's nothing about it, even adding expansions to it, that would make me want to play it again. I tried to bring it down to like a more overarching this type of game, but it just like, yeah, no, fuck Terraforming Mars. I'm over it. I'm done. I never like, I see it, that GMT logo and the Avalon Hill logo, and then fucking Terraforming Mars. I don't get it. Even with the pretty pieces, I don't get it.
I'm getting the feeling that it didn't even matter what top 5 we did this week, that this was going to be his number one. Like, I hate this game.
Could be a rant.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. It's definitely, I've said it before, right? Like, I'm over it. I'd never want to play it again. Again, it was on that list, and now it's on this list. Maybe it'll make it to another one.
Oh,
I've played Terraforming Mars, I want to say maybe 6-7 times, and I enjoyed it for the most part, but after a while it kind of got samesies to me, and I just haven't picked it off the shelf again.
Because there's a plan, right?
I didn't hate it.
There's a plan with that game. If you know what cards could come up, and the right card comes up that sends you down a track, then you're going down that track, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the more you know, it's kind of how I felt about Red Rising. If you know what cards are in the deck, then you know what cards you're going for. The problem with that is the cards might never come up in 5 plays of the game because that deck is so goddamn big. But if you know what's in there, then you know when it comes up, you know what you want to get. And Terraforming Mars is the same thing. If you're experienced and you know what's in there, then you know what plan to do based on what's out there. And I have no shot at it because I don't know. I'm going to get this because it looks pretty. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And there's nothing that can turn that around for me. So,
see, I would prefer. So there's 2 different experiences that you just kind of described. As one, there's the I'm going to start a plan, but I don't know if those cards will ever come up. And the other experience is I'm going to start a plan because I know sometime those cards are going to come up. And of course, what you're describing with Terraforming Mars is that people know the cards so well that they're planning it out. But what if those cards never come up? What if you start a plan and then those cards just weren't even in the game to begin it because like a chunk of them get taken out or something, you know? Sure. So I made a plan that would have never worked, kind of thing.
I think that goes back to what my argument was for our I Never Want to Play It Again episode, where I said this was one I never want to play again. Unless we're all experiencing it for the first time, then you don't know what you're planning for. You're just kind of reacting to what the board state is and what's available to you. that's different, right? Because then we're kind of all on the same plane as we're going forward. Whereas if you have an A, B, and C plan based on what's coming up, or if I have a plan and it's your turn and you take my plan away from me and I can't recover from that, like that's just not, there's just nothing about it that.
Would you say the same thing's possible with like Wingspan?
No.
No? How so?
Because there's so many other things you can do, right? You can go the murder bird route, and then somebody takes your murder bird, but you're still like, there's still how many cards are in that deck, and although they're all unique, most of them have the same kind of actions, right, when you trigger them. So there really aren't too many side plans that you could do. Like the only other thing I think is the murder birds, and if you get the one that's like anything under 136, then like that's the best one you could get. And then you get the murder bird that's like anything under 60, and like, all right, really, like that's never going to trigger. So I mean, other than that plan, if that one card comes up, that's the massive, what is it, the vulture or something, and then it's like killing basically everything you turn over. But then if that's your plan, then nothing, like, okay, fine, that's going to happen once every time you trigger it, and then you're sitting in the plains or the swamplands and having that trigger more often when other people can build up something else and make another engine work. I think it's more forgiving than Terraforming Mars. If you know the deck as well as you know the deck in Terraforming Mars, I think it's more forgiving in Wingspan than it is in Terra. If you played Wingspan 100 times and you played Terraforming Mars 100 times, where you know what the fuck's in there, and I'm only on like my second go, I have a better shot of doing better at Wingspan than I do at Terraforming Mars.
I'd agree with that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that reminds me of, I don't know if we did an episode with like the mechanisms we hate, but one of the things in game I don't like is when you have to like basically work your way into the deck to find the one card or the one thing that you're hoping will come up. And yeah, and to me, Everdell felt like that. And I remember when I posted about Everdell, people like jumped at my throat because it was only the first time I played it, but I was like, meh. Like, I just, to me, it's like, no, because the main mechanism of going to like fishing for the card I'm hoping for that might never come up is not super enjoyable. And it's like, and I feel like I'm constantly just trying to look for stuff that just might not be there. And anyways, so I could see how in Terraforming Mars and even Wingspan, you get that experience.
I think this is a good point by Evan. It's like some people, to them, it's not the playing game with others, but it's mastering that system.
Yeah.
That's fun for them, right?
And it's not fun for everybody else. Like if you're playing Tomb Raider on PlayStation and you want to beat that shit 100%, that's mastery. Like I found all the dream catchers. It says 100% great. But if I'm doing that at the table with people that have heard about Terraforming Mars and I'm just annihilating them because I know the deck because I'm at that level, it's just not fun for the group. So I'm more, with Evan's point, I'm more on the accessibility. Let's all just have a good time. If I suck, I suck. But that game is infuriating because it's not about bad dice rolls or bad draws. It's about, you know, the game better than I do, and I'm not going to do well. And there's nothing I can do about it.
You know, Katia, about Everdell, I like Everdell a lot, but that is the one drawback. It's that huge deck where you're like, oh, all I need is a husband for my wife. And you go the entire, even though there's like 5 of them there, you never see them kind of thing. I've heard of a house rule that someone has come up with that I've been thinking about trying. And what they do is they separate the creatures and the locations, and they have 2 different decks, and you can pull from either one when you get cards.
That makes sense to me.
So if you're looking for a husband, you pull from the creature side. I'm kind of curious to try it. I want to know how it feels to do it.
So I want to ask something because I'm just kind of curious. So in games like Everdell or Terraforming Mars, so when it's your first play, do you look at all of the cards quickly before you start your first game, or do you just go like, I don't know what's in there, let's play. Because, for example, in Everdell, it's like you don't know that there's 5 husbands. For all I know, there's only one in there, and I'm waiting for him to come up. And then at some point, it's like, oh, he's finally here. And then boom, another one shows up. And it's like, huh, didn't realize there was more than one. So it's like, do you look for that stuff prior to your game so that you kind of know the ratio? Or
If I am playing it with all new people, no, because we're all discovering it together.
right.
If I'm playing it with other people who are like teaching me the game, like as they're setting up, I pick up the deck and I start counting different ones so that I can kind of catch up a little bit to their level of knowledge.
Mm.
And I really appreciate it whenever, like, I think Everdell should have done this. To just put a little number. Let me know how many are in the deck.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
I got a comment on this. I may have told this story prior, but I was introduced to the game of Innovation. Are you familiar with that one?
I have it, but I haven't played it.
Really smart tech tree kind of development game, and the guy had come over to my friend's house and questioned what we were playing. Like, oh, you got to stop playing these mediocre games. You got to play something better. So then he's like, let me show you this game. And he taught me Innovation. Never played it before. He mastered it. Like, he knew everything, all the cards, everything. About halfway through the game, I was annihilating him. Like, the point spread wasn't even like close. And he changed his story. And he was like, see, that's the problem with these mediocre games. You can get a brand new person that doesn't know the game that can beat somebody who... I'm like, wait a minute. You just said this game was perfect and you know it. Like, this is the best. It's not a mediocre game. This game is great. I've never played it before. Now that I'm housing you, oh, this is just a mediocre game. And that's the problem with these types of games. So my friend Brad and I will always like, what are you playing? Oh, just some mediocre shit. Like, it brings back that story. But it's the same thing. Like, he got visibly upset that I was beating him at a game that he said was perfect, definitely not mediocre. And that he knew, like, was excited that he knew everything about it. Let me show you this game. And I'm like, okay, boom. Good game, but...
Yeah, I've mentioned before my first and only experience with Brass, pre-Kickstarter Brass, you know, the Freddie Mercury version where he's on the cover, where somebody was like, let me teach you this, and only taught it halfway and then destroyed us, and all they cared about was mastering the system and just using us as a way to play the game, basically.
To me,
there's a bad way that can happen.
Like, I don't understand how you get off on that. Like, how is that even fun for you? Feeling like, yeah, I crushed them. Yeah, they were all playing it for the first time. Like, whoop-de-doo.
Well, it's a solo game for him, is what it is. But he can't have it as a solo game, so he has to grab some suckers to just play the NPCs for him. That's all he's doing, is he's playing a solo game, and he needs some NPCs. So he taught us enough to be NPCs so he could play a solo game.
Brutal.
So.
Yeah, it's like beating up a 7-year-old in Magic. Like,
yeah, what's the fun? Yeah. Like, to me, when I teach a game, I know I have the advantage because I already know the game. And I explain it. And I will even give tips of like, you're going to want to pay attention to that, or you're going to want to, you know, possibly get some of this because it's important. Or like, for example, the games that coins are hard to get. It's like, you're going to want to make sure that you know, pay attention to money because it's hard to come by in this game, or like stuff like that. And
right. I do the same thing.
And then when I end up, like, if I end up winning that game, it's like, of course I already knew the game. So it's like, to me, it doesn't matter, but it's like, but I'm just glad I was able to teach it to you and you got to experience it and hopefully you liked it. And it's like, but yeah, like the first, I don't know, like for somebody to go like, oh yeah, I wiped the floor with those guys. Like, what's the point in that?
It's like, I've taught Seven Wonders before, and the first time I'll teach someone, I'll be like, now you're not going to win because you don't know what these cards are and what's coming your way and stuff. And I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes while you catalog all the cards. So just learn, just play it, enjoy it and stuff. And next game, you'll know what you're doing, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
you'll have a chance. And you tell a person that, and it's kind of a shorter game, that's fine. But when it's something like a 3-hour brass burning, whatever it is, now he's got me saying Brussels ham or whatever. He's making up names over there. Yeah. So as long as I always try to do that too. Try to give them some strategy, like don't ignore these cards over here. That's a big point of scoring and stuff. So.
Yep.
All
right.
So that was our top 5 hard passes.
Soft passes.
Soft to hard passes.
Yeah.
Some of them are hard. Now we're going to. Are we? Hold on, I didn't even check the time. Do we have time? Are we going to play?
We have time for Dice Miner, of course.
I've never played this before, so we're going to play Dice Miner.
You watched a how to play video, right? So I don't have to teach it to you, and people won't watch you fall asleep on camera.
No, just teach it real quick, just basics. Just give me that.
Sure.
I'll pick up on it. I don't have to win this first game.
Well, you're not going to win this first game. Just have fun with it. Maybe next game you'll do better.
Great.
Oh my god.
Now I want to win. That's the problem.
Yeah, you actually could, because it's dice rolling at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You want me sharing my screen, or are you sharing yours?
Yeah, I'm on a different computer, so if you can.
Yep. Sharing the screen. Gonna look for the button to share my screen.
Only thing I need.
That's the wrong button, and that's the wrong screen.
Did I show you these? Did I show you this?
Oh no, oh wait, go back.
Oh no.
Wait, Chris, get rid of your screen. Yeah.
What are we looking
Drop
at?
out. Chris, drop out.
What are we looking at?
So
that is so cool.
Charles Wilson, the illustrator for Stuff of Legend and numerous other things, had posted this sketch that he did of the original trilogy.
Wow.
And I just love
art too.
the art. Cute. Yeah. But like the AT-AT is up there, and the X-Wing, and
that's fun.
So cool. Look at Bib. They even got Salacious on Jabba.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that neat?
It does look better in real than the.
Oh, it's so cool. Sorry for the glare. It's in a frame, but yeah. Little Yoda down there. Yeah, I needed to move it because I need. Here we go. I just need to make sure that the dice, the hazard dice, don't get re-rolled ever.
Hazard dice don't get re-rolled.
I know they don't get Magic doesn't re-roll them, but I forget if they can get re-rolled at the end of the round.
I don't think hazard dice ever get re-rolled.
Ever?
Pretty sure.
That's Salacious B Crumb. So I don't know what the B stands for.
That's how I played it with my sister, so maybe I taught it wrong.
Well, remember, we played it with Eric 5 times incorrectly.
Yeah. But then I thought that it was...
Can you start the Dice Miner so I'll share the screen? We did.
I did. You guys have to hit ready.
What?
I just have a leave button.
Yeah, me too.
It's waiting for you.
No. It says online.
I've already hit ready.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Do I have to take a seat?
You're already in a seat.
You're already in a seat.
Oh, well, then, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I can hit refresh.
You could also not make me giant anymore. That would be awesome. Thanks.
Oh, I forgot you have control of that. That's not fun.
I do. It's giving me 20. All right, hold on. I'm refreshing the room because I don't understand why it's showing both of you not ready.
Oh, we're ready.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
Oh,
I mean, it's not showing it. And in 10 seconds, it's going to start, and you guys aren't there.
But
let's see what happens in 3 seconds. That's all.
But I am there.
What if I refresh?
Now it says you're offline.
Now I hit ready again.
Hold on. I refreshed. Oh, there you go. Ready.
There we go.
There we go. So it was you guys. Look at that.
No, we just had to refresh. There we go. Is this better or is that better?
What's the other mode? What did you have it at? I didn't see it.
It's either this or that.
Either.
I think this is better.
Okay. Dice
I'm gonna make my screen big, so if there are comments, you have to post them.
Yeah, I will. Dice Miner.
Whoop, whoop. So for
So-
those,
Look, they got the little brackets like I made.
Yeah.
pardon?
They got the little brackets like I made.
What are they
And
for?
Zozamos. I thought I was the only one that did that. That's cool.
Is it player areas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it lets you know what
I
player
guess.
you're in.
Well,
So,
I'm blue, so this is my area.
I'm just letting you know that in step 4, replenish phase, it specifically says under reroll, each player rerolls all the uncached dice in their trove. So if you're not using the treasure chest to keep them, you re-roll at the end of the round. And I think that's
Oh yes, at the end of the round, yes, everything is rerolled.
okay.
Yes.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's little beers.
Yeah, you're gonna be giving beer to people in this one. It's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
I like beer.
Evan, have fun. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, Evan. Yeah, so if
Um,
we still have watchers,
What are
and you
these?
don't know how to play the game, then yeah, now's your chance to see how it's played.
I also haven't played this yet, so
Yeah, you have.
All
Not
right, just
on
give
pick.
like a quick 5 minute or whatever, and I'll figure it out.
yeah, I haven't played it on here.
Oh, don't bore people.
I don't
Or
know.
me.
What
Or
are these
especially
dice out here for? What are these?
I don't think they're supposed to be there.
I'm just going to add some points to blue here.
12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 20,
Handicap.
20, 20. There's an extra die.
Do.
20 dice every turn. There's 41 in the bag.
Ooh, cards.
Yeah, I don't know what I think this is just for whatever. All right. So anyway, so we're each going to take one of those rolls. We can hand select it. We can shuffle and do whatever. Are they double-sided? No. I'll explain those in a second. You'll know what those are. Iconography, and this is pretty straightforward. But on your turn, you are going to draft. Go back to the mountain. You're going to draft dice from the mountain. You can only don't do this because it's going to take it a lot longer. You can only take what's available on the top. So, for instance, right now you can only take this green die and this 3.
So at the peaks.
Right now you can take this 3, this 1, this beer. Right. So good point. So these peaks, you can only take from a peak, and you're only taking one every turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
There is a exception. I'll explain that when I go through the different dice. But basically, you're going to be taking a die per turn. At the end of the round, you're going to score them in different ways. Every color die scores differently. Your rocks, your stones, will score based on a run. You want to get a run of 1 through 5. So every die has one side has a beer, and the other sides have other things. With the stone dice, they have 1 through 5. So you'll score based on your runs, but you have to start it with a 1. So if you just had a 3 and a 4 at the end of the round, you wouldn't get anything because there's nothing starting the run. Make sense? So
Okay.
In this situation with these dice that are here, you would only score 1 point because there's one. You're starting the run of 1. You don't have anything that goes after it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. When I grab a die, do I roll it?
Nope. You'll roll it at the end of the round, but you're drafting it from the rock the way it is.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Gotcha.
Okay. You might be able to re-roll it before we score 2, and that's one of the other die. I'll get to that.
Cool.
So
Continue.
does the stone make sense?
Yep.
Okay. This yellow one here, you see this little gem?
Yep.
Can I reset? I want to mess with this thing. All right. So here, this yellow one that has the gems.
Yep.
They're equal. Every gem you see is a point.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you draft this from the mountain, that's 3 points.
Gotcha.
If you have a clear majority, your points are doubled.
Ooh. Okay.
but you have to have a clear majority. So if you and I tie with 3 points, there's no clear majority. We just get 3 points.
All right.
If you have clear majority, the points are doubled for that round. Does
Cool.
that make sense?
Yep.
Let's see if I can get another color. Blue. So blue are magic. These let you re-roll stuff before we go into scoring. So the number of dice you get to re-roll are the number of circles you see on the die facing. So for instance, in our Startup Mountain, this one magic die has one re-roll on it. You can use that die before we score to pick anything. Let's say you had this and you had one re-roll. I will spend that re-roll to re-roll this, hoping to get something better, and I didn't.
So the circles with the plus signs are rerolls.
Correct. Now the caveat is if in this situation, I would have to re-roll 2 in order to use that die. I can't choose to just re-roll 1.
Correct.
There is also a side. Don't worry about the beer yet. There is a side with 3. If there's a 3, you must re-roll with 3.
And it has to be in the same reroll. Basically, you can't split it. You can't go, I'm going to reroll 2 now and save that third one and then reroll something. No, like it has to be 3. You're doing all 3 now.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. The dark die, which I'd love to get next. These will all go back in the bag, obviously.
You're talking about the ones on the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
The black ones. Yeah. Wow.
I can see enough of those.
Up random. All right. Those are hazard dice. I mean, really.
Just use the one
At
the
this
bottom.
point, at this point, you're not going to stop until you get a black one. Right?
Nope. There it is.
There you go.
All right. These represent hazards. Don't you dare. You son of a bitch. Why did your episode take 4 hours? Well,
I know. I
put
had
this
to.
back in the
I couldn't
thing.
stop myself.
These represent hazards. There are 2 types of hazards. There are rock slides and there are dragons. If you look at the mountain, you'll see the rock slides come in variations of 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And you'll see the dragons come in variations of 2 and 4. The one showing right now are 2. The 4, it looks like Targaryen symbol, basically. It's got 4 dragons in it.
Oh, I see it.
The number that's showing of the hazard is how many points you'll lose. So they're negative points.
Okay. So don't take the black ones.
Well, unless you get the greens. The greens, you'll notice there are 3 different symbols on here. There are treasure chests, there are pickaxes, and there is a shield, which I won't be able to roll for this example. You might see it in the roll. Trust me, there's a shield on here. If you have pickaxes, it'll turn your rock slides into positive points.
There it is.
There you go. Pickaxes turn rock slides into positive points. Shield turns dragons into positive points. Treasure chest I'll explain next, but does that make sense? The rock slides and the dragons?
Yep.
Okay.
And then there was beer.
At the end of the round, well, I'll explain the beer as a separate thing during the round. At the end of the round, if you have any of these treasure chests, you can use the treasure chests to hold stuff over for next round. They do not have to be re-rolled.
Okay.
So if you got a good run of 1, 2, 3 and all shit, you can use your treasure chest of 3 to hold the 1, 2, 3 so you don't have to roll them again. If you have a 4 dragon, and a shield, you might want to hold the 4 dragon, and the shield because you know you're guaranteeing yourself 8 points. Can you hold hazard dice?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
you can.
Now I'm starting to second guess everything. So does that make sense? The treasure chest let you hold stuff for next round?
That depends. Could you repeat that?
Yep. Anything that's
no,
not...
I'm kidding. I got it.
No, I'm not repeating it. I'm moving forward. Okay. Anything that's not held gets re-rolled, and that becomes yours for the next round. The mountain will be replenished with new dice.
Anything so everything that's not held back will be so you're going to keep the dice
correct
every time, so
correct.
You get more and more dice.
Everything you're drafting will be yours.
Oh, okay.
With the exception of beer. So if you have a beer on your turn, you could give a beer to one of your opponents. Okay. You'll give them that die, and that die will be re-rolled once. Whatever it is for them.
Do they score on the dice if you hold them?
Yes. You score first, and then you decide what you're going to carry over to the next round.
Okay, good to know.
So, for example, like if you have very high value gems, you will score the gems in that round, and then you'll use your treasure chest to say, I'm keeping those dice because there's a lot of gems there, and I want to keep those for next round. So then you set them aside, and the die that has the chests on, you will re-roll that one with everything else.
Okay. Good
So
question.
the beer you're giving to somebody, you re-roll it and give it to them. That becomes theirs. But the beer lets you pull 2 dice on your turn, and they only have to be open on one edge. So remember, in the beginning, you can only pull from the peaks. In that situation, you'll be able to pull from the edges.
Can you pull from the peak too if you want?
Absolutely. But
Okay.
if I gave you this beer, it'll give me the opportunity to maybe pick up this 5, which will drop down, and then I could pick up this 1. As long as it has one edge open, you'll be able to pick 2 on your turn instead. You just got to give the beer to somebody.
All right.
Make
Cool.
sense?
Yep.
We'll do that 3 rounds,
3 rounds. Yeah.
and then whoever has the most points win.
So far, that's me. I've got
You're cheating constantly. That's fine.
look like
There's an extra die. in there now.
40 points. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the characters up top, you can start at negatives. That's fine.
Okay. Characters at top.
Yep. Each of the characters has a special ability. They're really self-explanatory now that you know how everything works. The character all the way to the left has 3 individual rerolls. The next character, the Dragon Master, has a... What the hell? Did you do that?
I didn't do it.
Oh. Starts with a shield, so all dragons become points for them, and has a reroll.
Question: do the ones with rerolls, do they have to use those rerolls? Okay.
Not at all. The engineer has the pickaxes. Bless you. Pickaxes. So rock slides are points for you, and they have a permanent 2.
Oh.
Kind of like the surveyor who has a permanent 1. So you can only use it once in your run, but you have a 2, right?
What's the pickaxe do again?
It gives you points for rock slides.
Oh, right.
Just like the shield gives you points for dragons.
Yep.
And you explained that they multiply, right? That basically, like if you have 2 shields with a dragon of 4, you're scoring that 4 twice.
I did not explain that. Good point.
Okay, yeah. So for example, that prospector has an axe, the pickaxe. So if you have some rock slides and then you at some point get a second pickaxe, then your rock slide will be times 2 because you have 2 pickaxe. So it can get pretty lucrative when you start multiplying.
And then the treasurer just has a built-in treasure chest.
All right.
So if you want to pick character first.
Sure. I'll take the Dragon Slayer.
Great. Katia, you want to go next?
I'll take the prospector.
All right. I'm taking him.
I don't know how to rotate it.
Q or E?
Yeah, it's only going to rotate 90 degrees, though, in Tabletopia, so it's going to look weird.
I'll keep her here. It's okay.
You can do this.
Huh?
If you right-click on it, go to the rotation thing.
Yeah.
You can choose what angle. See?
So would it be 60? Oh, no, I made it worse.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts.
Well, I did it too. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So do these stay out? What is this all about?
They were there when I opened up the game. We're only going to need 60 dice, right? 20 to start and then 40 in the bag. It started with those out and 41 in the bag. I don't know if that was just an aesthetic thing.
Everything is supposed to be in the bag.
Right, but if we're only doing 20 dice per round, and there's 45 dice in the game or in the bag, so there's 5 extra dice.
That's weird because we just played a game.
The whole bag will be emptied at the end.
Yeah, and we use them all.
Maybe there's some kind of bonus dice or something in there. If something comes out and we don't know what it is, we'll just throw it off to the side.
Yeah, I think there just happens to be 5 extra stone dice.
Well, maybe the
I think-
ones that were out weren't supposed to be in.
Yeah, I think they were just for aesthetics, just to have them out on the board.
Yeah, I feel like we should take them back out because otherwise it's gonna be all
There we
white.
go.
There you go.
Perfect. Leave those out.
Cool. All right, let's do this.
Oh, maybe. All right, you
Thank
go
you
first.
for doing it so quickly.
Wait a
Well-
minute. Sorry, just a sec. How many dice did you say are in the pocket in the bag?
They're 40 now.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Maybe you can roll them to see who goes first.
5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Yeah,
16,
that's
17,
20.
18.
Yeah, let's roll to see who goes first.
Okay, that's fine. First one to get a beer.
I was gonna roll all 5.
Huh? No, just grab one.
Okay, rolling.
How do we roll? How do we roll?
I got a
with this?
4.
R.
How do you roll?
R.
There you go.
Two.
So I got a 4. You got a 2. You got a 2.
All right, you go first.
Cool.
There you go.
All right. So I'm just selecting one of these green ones. So really, no choice.
No
Correct.
choice.
Cool.
And then do I go next then?
Yeah, if we follow the table, you'd be to my left. So
I'll grab another pickaxe.
you're red.
I'm gonna take. What do I have? The 2. I'm gonna take the 1.
I'll take this one.
Going for the beer.
Well, I'm gonna roll that though, right?
You give it to somebody else.
You're gonna you're gonna give it away.
Oh,
'Cause it's a beer.
am I? I thought
but-
we were. Hold on. I thought we were gonna take these and then roll them.
At the end of the round. So if you don't give it away, you will roll it at the end of the round, but that will be after we've scored everything.
Remember, the beer lets you pull 2, so it's beneficial for you. You just happen to be giving it to somebody else. And a hazard die is good because if you give it to someone who can't protect themselves, it's actually negative points.
Right.
There you go. I took the treasure
Yeah.
chest.
We all have some way of protecting ourselves. Some.
Cool. I'll do the 3.
Where do you have that? I'm gonna take this one.
Now remember, before your turn is when you decide to use your beer.
I'm taking the raw.
Oh wait, I'm not rolling this, am I? God.
No,
Nope,
you're
it's
leaving it
what
as
it
five.
is right now.
So I have to start at 1 to even score.
Yeah.
So that was pointless, right?
Correct.
Well-
but you'll have that for the next 2 rounds. So
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to take this. So if you want, yeah, thanks, Jeremy. I already have a 2 on my board, but thanks for looking out for me. Before you drafted that 2,
Yeah.
you could give this beer to one of us. It would be rolled, and then you could pull 2 dice from whatever is available.
Oh, I thought I had to wait till. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
So if
All
you
right. Well,
wanted
then,
to,
yeah, I'll give this to you.
all right. So I'll roll it. Thank you for giving me a beer.
Well, you.
I was
Yeah.
dragon.
See, that's points for you.
Damn
It
it.
sure is. And now you get to pull 2.
Take that one and that one.
I wanted it to be a dragon.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's my turn. I'll take this 2, I guess.
That was my 2.
I'll take the
Well, you
magic.
should have given me a beer.
I think we're about to get a bunch of black dice. So
I will take all of the rock slides.
Is it my turn?
It is.
I'll take the 2 rock slides here.
Oh, that's not nice.
You're not the only one with 2 pickaxe.
Yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take this.
cool.
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. No choice. Okay. And you get that. Okay. So first thing is if anybody has magic, which I do, you can choose to use it and re-roll however many re-rolls there are. I am not.
But you said you have to use it.
You don't have to.
Oh, okay. Oh, but if you do use it, you have to use all the re-rolls on it.
Yes.
Correct.
So
Okay.
you have a reroll on your card
Oh, yeah.
right in here.
So I'm not using mine. I'm going to leave mine the way it is. You have one. So if you wanted to re-roll any one of these things, you could.
Like the green beer to hope you get a shield for your dragon. That would be something.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was a beer.
Or you re-roll your 1 gem hoping for a 2 or 3. Like there's a few things.
How many different sides are on this? Let's see.
My guess, because there's a beer on there too, you probably have 2 1s, 2 2s, 1 3, and a beer.
I see 3 1s, a beer, a 3, probably a 2. So not great.
Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll just re-roll this beer because the beer is useless to me anyway, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
What's the Oh, I get to keep something off to the side, right?
Correct. You don't have to re-roll them at the end of the round.
And I do score the things I keep off to the side.
Yes, you will. So now we're going to go through points.
right.
You add up. First thing you do is you add up your runs of your stone. No one has a 1 except me, so I got my 1, my 2, and my 3. So that's 6 points for me.
You're yellow,
Yeah, for the stone.
so you get 1 point.
Yep, but then I'm going to give myself more. How do you do that?
Just use your roller.
I don't have a roller. Who uses a roller?
Oh, well, then you tell me to use
Oh.
my roller. There you go.
Check it out. I bought a mouse just for this purpose of
roller.
playing online.
Why do you get
now
more
have
points?
the roller.
There you go.
Because you have a 2.
Right. So I started a run with 1. So, and then you get points for everything in that run. So I have a 1, a 2, and a 3, and it's the number of pips.
I forgot you had that too.
If I had a 4, I would have had 10 points. If I had a 5, it would have been 15 points. That make sense?
Yep, that's what I was trying to be warned about.
Yep. Now, the next thing we get scored on are gems. You're the only one with gems.
That's not true. I have one.
Oh,
on my
you have a permanent gem. All right, so nobody has majority, so you each get 1 point.
Mwahaha.
Hold on.
Can you score it for me so I don't have to mouse over?
Can I
But
just...
you just got that new mouse.
But I still have to drag.
There you go. I give you your 1 point.
Thanks.
All right. And then we do hazards. So looking at Chris, you have 2 dragon hazards, but you have a shield. So that gives you 2 points.
Yep.
Katia has 2 pickaxes with 6 rock slides.
So 12 points.
So that's 12 points.
Because
it multiplies with your pickaxes. And then 2, 4, 5. I have 2 pickaxes with 5 rock slides, so I get 10 points. And why they don't have this automatically add up in this row is beyond me. But then we add up what we have.
Well, I don't like this math.
That's annoying. And that's the end of round 1.
And I get to pick 2 things to hold back.
You will re-roll your treasure chest, but you get to pick 2 of these things to keep for next round.
I get to keep 3.
Well, you do not get to keep any.
You do.
Re-roll everything.
And remember that what you keep doesn't get re-rolled.
It does not get re-rolled?
No.
What you keep does not. Everything else will.
How do you mark what you're keeping?
Just put it off to the side and don't re-roll it.
Okay.
So you're keeping your dragon, and what else?
Let me keep this. The dragon.
All right. All your other stuff gets re-rolled.
Is there a way to select everything?
Hold down shift and drag a box over it like this.
Yeah, shift and drag.
And then hit R.
Amazing.
Okay, and so what happens now with this new re-rolled stuff? That's what I'll be using
You
next
leave
round.
it there. Yeah.
That's what you're building off of for this next round.
Gotcha. Okay, and
And
I have a
still
beer
don't
right
have
now,
more
so that
spends.
means I can give that away at some point. And
Correct.
okay, gotcha.
Why is this not? Can we not fulfill this thing just by?
Whoa,
Ugh.
yeah, that didn't work out.
No, it didn't. Put them back in.
I think you might have to do it one at a time.
Oh, that's dumb.
Like, oh man, you got to do it at an angle too. Hold on.
No,
What?
it's sockets. It's sockets. They got the magnetic thing.
Oh, okay. At least they did that.
Hey,
This is kind of
how
fun
would
to
you
watch.
Whew.
There
Okay.
you go.
That's
Oh,
kind of fun to do.
Maybe that's why they didn't do it automatic.
Is it the person who has the least amount of points?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, that
it
would
is.
be me. Haha.
So it's Chris
Tactics.
goes first.
All right, so you
My
get the
strategy is revealed. Okay, so now I'm going to grab things.
Well, remember you have your beer, so you can
I
get your
do.
beer to draft 2,
And I can pull from the sides if I do that, right?
as long as it has an open edge.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's give a beer. Oh, let's see. I think you've got 16. She's got 13. So I'll give her a beer.
All right, re-roll it.
Oh, hold on. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's the fun part.
It's a beer. That's okay. It's not a bad thing.
So these slide down.
Okay.
They would have slid down on the first one you picked as well, so this would have been available to you, but just so you know.
Oh, okay.
And then we're still going in the same turn, so Katia, you're next.
I sure am.
A lot of blue in this one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm going to give my beer to Chris.
Hey, beer again.
And I'm going to
Re-roll it.
I'm gonna come and
All right,
grab
all right. Give me that.
the rocks here.
Ooh.
That shifts down. And I'm going to grab I think I'm gonna grab this 2 here.
That's a good one.
Yep,
You have a lot of rock slides over there.
I
Yeah.
do. Isn't it great?
No, it's not. That's a lot of fucking points.
Yep.
All right, Chris, I'm giving you that.
Ooh, more beer. Ooh,
Ugh.
could have been worse.
Not good. I'm going to pull this 3. And then I'll pull this 2.
All right.
All right, you
My
go.
turn?
Yep.
If I take a beer, can I use it immediately?
No.
You don't have a beer.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Makes
you
sense.
mean if you grab it? I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it would be
before,
for your next
before
turn.
your turn. You decide to give a beer.
So then it's me?
Yep.
I'll grab. Damn it. I'll grab a 5.
This all sucks. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's you a beer.
Oh my gosh, why are you giving it to him?
Because you have more points than rocks.
Yeah, but do you realize that he's gonna get 15 points when he rolls a 1 and has like a
No.
massive straight?
I mean, it could happen.
You have so many rerolls.
I do, but I also still need my 3, my 4, and my 5.
Mm.
And I'll take.
Oh, he got the gems. Damn
Of
it.
course you did. Yeah.
I'll take the reroll. Yep. They can't have gems and rock slides. That doesn't make any sense.
What?
It's true. I agree. I like that. Because it's what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 2. That's 18 points you're getting in rock slide. That's shit.
Yeah.
You took the 4?
There's another 4 right
There's
there.
so many 4s.
That's
Ooh, beer.
Reroll it.
Rerolling. Come on, 1. Boo.
Nice. I'm
So
going to
many
take
3s.
this one and this one.
Great. Chris, you get beer
Yeah, I guess I do. Huh?
on the top.
Sure do.
My options will be the same regardless.
No, you might get the 5. Or you will get a 5. You'll have
I'll
a
get a
choice.
5 or I'll get a blue beer.
Right.
Either way.
Well, blue beer is better than... I won't go there.
I think I will grab.
Is beer useful if it's the last thing you grab?
No.
Nope.
No, but I only have a reroll 2. So what? Like a 5 is useless to me.
Well, you could grab the blue one and then re-roll the blue one and hope you get more re-rolls.
Yes, you can do.
The equivalent of fishing in a deck of cards that you were just
I don't
complaining
know
about.
that I want to do that. I'm gonna grab this, and then I'll just re-roll both 5s and hope for the best.
Mwahaha. All beer for you, sir.
We're getting the Pocahontas look.
Here's a beer for Katia.
Oh, yay!
And I'll take that 5. Then
Oh, bummer.
All right. Well, you get another blue beer, so have fun with that
Yep.
one.
Me?
yep.
Yeah, your go. He took 2, so that's yours. All right. So now we're all participating, I think, in all of the rounds. So your reroll, Chris, you have 2 individual rerolls. You
Yep.
get to do those before we start our scoring.
All right. Nobody else has gems, so I'd keep that, I guess.
You could actually reroll your 1 and still have
Yeah.
majority if it comes
Yeah.
up.
Could also get a stupid beer.
You could, but yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm going to re-roll this one.
All right, so you're spending your reroll. And now you've got 3 rerolls.
Well, let's say that was
He
on my
had one on
card.
his card.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. You have one on your card.
Let's say
Okay.
that was one on my card. All right. And then I'm going to re-roll this pickaxe with this one
Yeah.
because that's
not
useless to me.
Yep.
It's,
That's also
can I
useless.
use these 3 re-rolls on the same die?
No.
No, not on the same. You can use it because I thought you meant could you use it now because you just re-rolled it.
Gotcha.
No, it has to be 3 individual dice that you're re-rolling at once.
All right. Well, here we go. We're going to re-roll that one. And we're going to re-roll that one. And we're going to re-roll that one. Damn it.
Nice. All right, Katia, what do you got?
So I'm going to use the 2 reroll. And I'm going to reroll a blue here. And hey, stop touching my stuff.
Put it in my area.
The hell? Trying to select both here. There we go. And okay, that's better. And then what the hell? And then I'm going to use the 2 reroll to reroll the 5 and the 4. Oh, but do I want to get rid of the 5? Or do I
Well,
want
can you do it one at a time?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's basically you pick what you're re-rolling and you re-roll them.
Oh, okay. So I shouldn't have done it like I did, but okay.
Yeah, it's still the same thing, right? Instead of highlighting all three, those are the three you re-rolled.
Right,
Oh my
but
gosh.
yeah,
Okay,
You
I'm
can't see
gonna
what
do
you
both
roll.
fives.
you
can't
should
see-
re-roll that shield. You
Or-
can't use it.
It's true.
I know, but if I reroll just one die, my odds of getting a 1 are really slim. If
One
I
and
reroll
six.
2,
One and
yeah,
six.
that's not very good. So I'm gonna reroll both of these. Oh,
Your odds
sorry.
of getting a 1 and 2 dice are what? 1 and 9, something like that.
Damn it! See, this is why I had to try. Odds were crap. Shit! What a waste. What a fucking waste. This is after whatever time, so swearing is allowed. I always swear. Sorry.
All right.
Family show.
Not at 11. Not at 11:30.
Right?
I'm
I
using
think-
this double to re-roll these two.
No one.
Nope. I'll use this double to re-roll these two.
No one.
And then I'll use this triple to re-roll those two and this.
No one's.
Karma. Come on.
Yes.
Well,
At
I
least-
got my double
Yeah,
pick.
that helps you there.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. So now we do our runs. Who's got a run of anything?
Nothing.
Nope.
Nobody's
Same.
gonna run.
No one's got a one. So we get
Nope.
nothing
Oh.
there.
I forgot I had these saved from last time. It's nice.
Yeah, they count as your thing. We do our gems because no one has run. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Times 2.
And
So
you
he's
have
got-
clear majority. So Chris gets 10. Katia gets 1.
Yep.
And then do our hazards. Chris, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1. So 6 points for Chris. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I gave the wrong person. I always play yellow in board games, so
I'll take the points though.
I'm blue. I had 6 for mine.
You have 6 in dragons. Yep, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 2. So Katia gets 18.
Boo.
And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3. So I get 12.
Mm.
And then you add that together.
All right.
And then you add.
I think I'm at more than 19.
What?
No, you're at 19. You had 18 points for your rock slides and 1 point for your...
Oh, and you're only adding this. Sorry, I thought you were doing the total of 1 and 2.
No. Now you add your total from this round and your total from your first round, and that goes into this
Oh,
one.
jeez. Can't you just do the math at the end of the game?
You can, but the way that this is set up, this is how you do it.
So it's 20.
Oh, you're doing it.
30. Hey.
Riveting.
So after 2 rounds, it is Chris with 19,
I get to pick 2 things to keep here.
me with 28, and Katia with 32.
Hey,
I
you lost my die.
everything this time.
Yeah, so Chris gets to pick 2 things to
You're locking my dice.
keep. Well, you tried to steal one of the magic dice from Katia, so I
I
locked
don't
all
know
your
what you're
shit.
talking about. Did you
I
just
gotta reroll everything. Ready?
Hold on, I gotta help Chris unlock all his stuff because I locked everything.
Why did you lock things?
Because he was trying to steal
Exactly.
your dice.
She put it in my area.
That's not.
I thought she was giving it to me.
I did not put anything in your area. I put it in the neutral zone.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so if you have something to lock, or if you have something to keep in your treasure chest, then keep it. If not, re-roll everything else.
Woo! I got some ones. Finally.
Ooh, I got a 1. Ooh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got a ton of
Oh
twos.
man.
Nice.
I need a
Yeah.
3.
A lot of beer. You guys are getting drunk this round. Just letting you know.
Sweet.
Wait, how are there only? Oh, because I'm like, how are there only 20 things in the bag? But we took the 5 out. I forgot.
Oh God.
Matt.
Oh God. All right. Nice.
Oh,
So is it still me?
Yeah.
19 to
lowest point. So yeah, it's still you.
my strategy of going first.
And remember the beer, because the beer are going to be useless.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Well, we saw how useful all those re-rolls were for Mike, so I could just give him this beer here.
Yeah, they were great, weren't they? Super helpful.
Let's see.
So much beer. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're getting drunk over there.
I sure am.
Shield. I'm gonna take this as well. So let that fall.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna give someone a beer.
Beer.
You
Is it a
can't
good?
reroll. Okay, here you go, Michael.
It's a dark beer. Come on.
Dark beer. It's a stout.
Fine. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Damn it.
Points for you.
All right, I'm going to grab the 3. That's right here. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I will grab that reroll actually. Because all those treasure chests are useless at the end.
It's true.
All right. Beer for you.
Ah, thanks.
You're giving her a black die?
Yeah,
But
it's
I
gonna
just
come up
did
dragons.
one.
Don't worry. It's coming up dragons.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
It's coming up dragons. We've already talked. Damn
Yep.
it!
You're giving it to me?
I'm taking the 1. And I'm taking the 3.
Now he's got the 1, 2.
Yeah, you guys will too. It's
All right. Beer to Katia.
Ah, you're so kind. It's a beer.
I'm gonna take that. I want you to have that. And
Oh, they slide down. Hold on before you forget.
sure. I'm gonna take this 5 though. Oh no. That's supposed to be 4. Okay, good. It didn't change.
All right, I'm going to give my beer to Chris.
Oh my gosh.
You're getting.
Didn't I just give you that?
You did, but it
It
rolled.
rolled back to her.
Yeah.
2. Can you get
Right.
more than 1 run?
Yep.
Yes. So I'm going to grab the 2.
Ha, Jeremy just asked the same thing.
And I'm going to grab. Oh, this is.
While Katia is deciding, Chris, to your question, my permanent 2 can only be used in 1 run though.
Oh, okay.
So I can do another run of 1, starting with 1, but I can't use my 2 in that run. I can only use it as it's as if it's its own die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna grab that and hope that it turns into some rerolls.
All right.
I have too many wasted treasure chests.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm deciding who I want to give a drink to.
Drink. How about the one with the lowest points?
You got it.
Ooh. Come on, 1.
Chug it.
And then I'm going to pull that, and I'll pull that.
It's my turn.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, grab that.
A lot of gems. Jeez, you get
Yeah.
a ton of points.
Yeah, and they're double.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why I would do that. I just will take that
Why would you take the beer?
because I might re-roll it.
Yeah, but
For one.
yeah, you have a 1 here that you can access because you gave a beer away, right?
Oh, can I grab that? I can't grab that.
Because it's an edge, right? It's accessible because
It's got a side open.
Yep.
You can even take this one too, like either one of those, because they're open on the edges. Normally, you can only take from the peaks.
Wait, I didn't give a beer.
Pretty sure you didn't you?
No, I was given a beer.
Oh, all right then. Then you don't get to pick 2.
Oh, I thought you gave a beer too.
No,
Oh,
never
then you
mind.
don't get to get to grab a second one.
that is correct.
So get your hand off there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to give a beer. That's okay. Beer.
Oh, okay. There
Yeah,
you go.
I just didn't give the beer, and I was like, wait, what am I doing? Okay. You're
Oh,
right.
come on.
Draga.
Did you get dragons?
Of course I
Nice.
did.
Amazing. All right, this is my turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give this dark beer that I can't use.
Oh, cool. Give me more dragons.
Well,
No, I'm kidding. Give it to Chris.
yeah, Chris doesn't have pickaxes,
He's not.
so
True. That means I'm gonna roll some dragons.
Yeah, but if he rolls a dragon, it's it's 3 times.
Oh, he rolled 2. All right, so I'm gonna grab.
Four times.
I have 1, 2.
Yeah, it would be dragons
I'll
4
grab
times.
the 3 and the 4.
I don't like anything about that.
Sweet.
Well, I got rocks, so
I have a lot of rerolls.
now I wish I had those rerolls.
I'm taking these. I'm going for the runs. I'm taking. Oh, I got to give a beer first. Hold on. This is doing. Oh, I could re-roll that though. Yeah, so I'm giving this to. I gave you the last one, didn't I?
Lowest points.
I gave you the last one.
Lowest points.
Oh yeah, this is massive. What's going on over here? I don't like any of that.
Yeah, look at all that.
Very bad. All right, that's for you.
Oh,
And I'll take that. And I'll take that.
well,
There you go.
All right.
All right, so we'll keep it in order. Chris, use your rerolls.
yeah, I get 2 rerolls, right? Okay.
Individual, yep.
I think I gotta shoot the moon here because I'm so far behind. So I'm gonna re-roll these 2 black ones.
You can't
re-roll hazards.
black.
Oh, you can't re-roll hazards.
Not
No.
in the magic. At the end of the round, you do, but the magic will not re-roll hazards.
What do you mean at the end of the round you do?
Like from round to round, you re-roll.
Oh, okay. That's why I actually took this. I thought I was gonna be able to re-roll it. So
Nope.
oh well. Lesson learned. Well then, in that case,
Remember what you said. You're not going to win your first round. Just have
That's
fun
true.
with it.
I think you said that actually.
I was mimicking you. So
Oh, okay.
mocking, mimicking.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Little bit-
It's,
little bit
it's
of
all a
both.
compliment. So these 2, it looks like, in hopes. Yeah, well,
There you go. You got a
Something.
second one. That's good.
yeah. The 4's not a good one, but
No. All right, Katia, you.
I'm going to use this. I'll move it over here so I know it's used and re-roll the 2 beers.
Oh, I really hope they don't come up here.
Hey, could you just not wish harm on that?
Hmm.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm going to use the 2
swing. Bada, 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 bada.
and I'm going to re-roll those 2 greens.
Don't
get
get
pickaxes. Oh, God.
Ah,
Nice.
All right. I'm going to use the 3 re-roll and I will re-roll the greens and this yellow.
yeah.
All right. Pickaxe and a gem. That's good stuff.
Pickaxe. Boo.
And then I will re-roll this green here with this last one.
Beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of rolling rocks. So I have my set
Oh,
up
rocks.
here.
Oh,
have-
rocks are the whites.
I need these. So I'm gonna use this 3.
Yeah.
To reroll these 3.
Ooh.
All right, I got a 3. I'll use this 3 to reroll.
No ones.
Keep that. I'll use this 2 to reroll these 2. And I'll use this. This is if I get a 1, it's 15 points. This is damn it!
Oh
good.
my god! But you got a shield.
Yeah, it gives me 2 points
That's
on that.
good.
Okay, so these are useless.
Yay, useless.
This ends up being 15 points. These are useless. These are points. Okay, so Chris, your run of rocks. What do you got?
Rocks. I've got 2 runs, but only 3 on there. So whatever that is, that's what, 15, 18 points?
18 points. All right. You want to do the point thing?
Yeah.
Katia, what do you got? Oh, God.
I have 25.
Okay.
I hate it.
What you get?
15.
All right.
All right. Next thing is gems. Chris gets 142.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot here.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that? 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? 12.
Oh, how did you not do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Come on.
I don't know. 12 times 2.
Yep.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 2. Because, yep, so 24 for you. Katia gets 2. Yep. I get 0. 2 is better than 0. And then, Chris, you have 6 dragons.
And 4 shields.
And 4 shields. So 6 times 4 minus 5.
6
One
times
minus,
4
because of the, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're rocks.
So 19.
19. And then I have
Katia's got, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 2 pickaxe, so that's 10 for me.
All right, what you got, Mike?
All right, I've got 3 rock slides with 2 pickaxes, so 6, and I've got 2 dragons with 1 shield, so 2. So 8 total.
All right. So math on here, 23 for this round for Mike. Oops. Wish I could just, can I type this in?
No, I tried.
Oh. And I've got
I'm
30,
fine. Good
42,
Lord.
52, 61 this round, I think. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm counting the 19 above it. So I have
Jeez, that's a lot of
30,
points.
42, 50. Well, maybe I do.
I end up at 69.
30, 42, 52, 61. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. 20, 30, 40, 52, 61, yeah.
And then you add all 3 together.
add that to 19, so you have an even 80.
Holy crap, 61 just in the last round?
Yeah,
That's
that was
epic.
the gems were killer. I mean, you also had a lot with your run, your stones, but
And you got 1 mic for your total?
yeah, yep. It feels like it.
40, 51? Is that right?
Yep. Really good score.
Hey, look at that.
And he did win after all of that.
My strategy worked to where I
Wait, what?
lucked out, got stuff.
Those. Why is that there?
Ah, it's a fun game.
It is fun.
don't know what that is, but
What the little cube is?
yeah, they're locked, and you can move them, but I don't know what they're for.
I guess just to say what color you are, because it says player right here, right?
Sure, yeah, I guess. But I mean, your hand and your section. Anyway, that's Dice Miner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to destroy the Mike wins everything run.
Nice. Nice.
Are we
Yeah, I don't
supposed
know.
to clean up, or does it reset itself when we leave?
Yeah, no,
you have to clean up.
You don't have to clean up.
I've never used this.
You've never played on
tempted to
Tabletopia?
clean up.
No, every time you join in, it's set. It's a good thing about digital is you don't have to clean.
If you're part of my game group, you also don't have to clean, apparently. It's Dice Towers.
Yeah, so what'd you think?
Oh, it's fun. I like it. I like it better than I thought I would. It's if you give me a game box with a lot of dice on it, I'm going to immediately think, oh, this is just a random fest kind of thing. But since it gets drawn first and then you choose, right? It's more Euro-y in nature. So yeah, I saw it. You guys talked about it when you played it on the Gathering last year.
Yep.
And so I saw it at BGG Con whenever I went there. And I thought, oh, I should give this a try since I talked about it. I picked it up, and in the back of it, it was like, it just showed dice. I mean, this is part of the table presence thing, right? I was just like, all right, I just see a triangle of dice, big deal. And I couldn't really convince myself, let alone the group that I was with, to try it out.
So we talked and raved about it so much that not even our recommendation was like, oh, I should give it a go. That's
the only thing that made me pick it up.
Yeah, but then you looked at the back of the box and forgot everything we said about it and said, fuck it.
It's not so much that. It's y'all's tastes in games aren't always the same as mine.
Oh, that was a very nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, careful how you word this.
No. I mean, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of times where you guys describe very simple kind of like, 15-minute games or something. And I'm like, that sounds boring to me, but and then at the same time, right. I like point salad and you don't. So who's to say? I think point salad was the most played game I had last year.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God.
I think it was like 9 or 10 times.
That's Dice Miner for me.
Is it? Yeah. I could see that.
Well, I mean, we played it a ton at the Gathering. Yeah. How many times at the Gathering? And then I bring it with me at QsCon. We played it twice in one night because you play in the beginning and you play a new group later on. It's fun.
No, I like medium weight. Yeah, I mean, I would put this in the same kind of category as like Sagrada or Azul or something like that.
Games. What's wrong with medium game weight?
Yeah, I like these kinds of games.
Yeah, this is a good one.
My range of games that I like is between like, I would say this to, I don't know, like Agricola kind of Caverna kind of thing, right? And then sure, there's some lighter, shorter games and stuff that I enjoy sometimes, but it's not those aren't the ones I usually pick up off the shelf to play. So
yeah.
Yeah, this is a fun like beginning of the night or end of the night kind of game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Mediocre. They're all mediocre. The only real good game was Innovation until I was wiping the floor with him halfway through. Then that even became mediocre.
Okay, we got to start a game company called Mediocre Games.
Mediocre Games. I love it.
Isn't that
MG? Those would be my initials. I'm totally on board.
Oh my God.
Weird.
I feel like
that's already
a thing. Isn't there a company called Mediocre Games?
Oh, there is now.
Is there? Hold on, let me see.
Register it.
I can double check.
I feel like
publishers.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Okay, now the problem is, how do you spell Mediocre?
Sure, yeah.
CRE. I know there are publishing companies out there that are named like as if the games are bad. And I've run
Yeah.
into that before, and I was like, "That sounded
Cheap
really
ass
good."
games, that kind of thing.
Yeah, cheap ass.
Say that again.
Cheap ass games.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
But it is that is one of them.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's like to me, it's like who thought of that and went yes.
I'm sure it has a specific story behind it. Just like,
See, somebody's saying there's already a company called Mediocre Games.
that's weird. It didn't show up on.
Not crazy.
It's weird. It didn't show up on BGG.
Yeah, it's not.
It rang a bell. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's not winner for like I know it spells MG, but it's not really winner for like selling.
That is kind of a fun idea. Like, what would you name your game company?
I don't know. Maybe we should think about it and then answer next week.
Yeah,
Give
top
our-
5 game company idea names. Game company name ideas.
I don't see anything. It says Mediocre Games yet.
Is Cheap Ass Games the game guys from Rochester? I have no clue.
Oh, I don't know, but there's something called Mediocre Game Studio, so it might not be board games.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
But
think
yeah.
Cheap Ass is Rochester. I think Letterman is out of Rochester. There's also Millennium Games, which is kind of cool because their bag. Do I have it here? I'm sure.
You're trying to stick to the MG initials.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're here it is. Their game bag is MG.
I should have named mine Crazy Ass Studios, and that would be my initials.
There you go. You should do it. Crazy Ass Studios.
I can't do cheap ass. So.
No, you can't.
All right. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed the top 5. The game was fun. Thanks for showing me. I guess I'll have to get that game now.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And you have the plastic rock one or something like that. Is that better? Do you like that better? Because it slides for you, right?
The
It's
cardboard
on
one rolls
cardboard
too.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cardboard one and the other one?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it still slides. Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
just
they
lay
still
flat.
I'll tell you this, both of them, I think the dice are a little bit different in the deluxe, like the blue have a shimmer or something. It comes with the plastic mountain, which is cool if you like paint and shit, because then it really looks good. But both of them, the boxes suck. Like this box is atrociously shaped. Like it's not your typical box. It's beautiful, and it's got the magnetic thing on the front. Like the art is stellar, but the main box, the regular box, is like that size, like pandemic kind of size.
Yeah.
The problem is it's so awkward to like. This is an awkward box to have to put on the thing. The cardboard mountain in the regular, you still have to break down to fit in the box because they made it just too. Yeah.
Like
So
that.
either way, they're both annoying.
Oh. By the way,
I just threw my plushie on the ground.
oh, there you go. Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the regular.
I mean, like this, it's the size of code names. Like it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's still beautiful, and so you have to dismount the. Like this is kind of what it looks like. Where did I put that?
Have you guys played any new games? I played 2 new games this week.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, so I have to have the back of the mountain. It's tucked behind it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't sit like it will stick out if I try and put it
I
like
see.
full.
Yeah, you got to take the legs off it to fit in that box, and then this box is awkward. So either way, that's really the only knock on it. Like it comes with enough variable player powers to play it again, right? I mean,
that's not so bad. In Everdell, I put the tree together every time. So,
and there are those people that leave it together and put it on their shelf, so they don't have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
You said you played new shit. What'd you play?
Yeah, so I got and played Lizard Wizard.
Ooh, nice. I want to play that. Did you get the deluxe?
No, I just got it at the game store, local game store. Which I think I'm happy that I didn't get the deluxe because I wouldn't want to spend that much money for this game. It's a good game. It was enjoyable. There's some basically I said at the end of it, they should have had someone like Devitt who probably isn't this designer. I don't know if that's the case, but it kind of feels like there were some babies that weren't given up here, sacrificed here. Like there's this whole dungeon mechanism where you have to pay 10 of currency or whatever to go to the dungeon, which means you have a deck of cards, you draw a card. If it's a monster, nothing happens. If it's gold, then that's worth a point. If it's a second monster, you're done and you lose everything. And you can stop when you want. So, of course, you want to get enough gold to make the 10 currency that you use to worth it, and you never will because there's tons and tons of monsters in there. So I did it twice, went out real quick. Like the first time I did it, I just got 2 monsters and that was it. Second time I got like 3 gold and then I was out again. And that was after I got like spells and stuff, prepared myself to make it easier, and it still failed on me. So I was like, this is a completely wasted part of the game. Like that whole part, Aaron never did it, and I don't think I'll ever do it myself either. So if you can play the whole game and not do that whole section of the game, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
The rest of it was kind of cool though. I like the spells and stuff like that. So it's worth checking out. Just I don't know how that dungeon thing got past development.
Interesting.
And the other game I played, I got this. I mean, Katia will hate it because it's from AEG, but
That's not true. Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. Meeples and Monsters. This turned out even better than I thought. It's a bag builder.
Yeah.
And you kind of worker placement bag builder. It was I got it on a whim on Kickstarter, and as you can see with this sticker that they stuck on the actual box that is not straight.
Nope.
Bothers me.
Yep. So 2 things about that. I thought the sticker was, usually I'll try and take those Kickstarter shits off and put it like on the inside cover. Like who does that? Tiny Epics. They always put the deluxe sticker on the outside, so I'll always take it off and stick it on the inside just because I'm a freak. That sticker, mine is also crooked and pissed me off. Like it's just enough where it's like annoying to see. I don't know why they didn't put that on the plastic. That makes 0 sense. I know. And here we go again, but the insert in that thing is bad.
Oh, I really like the insert.
No.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm thinking of Lizard Wizard. Lizard Wizard has a good insert.
Awesome insert. Meeple and monsters and meeples and monsters. That insert is not good.
The insert, by the way, the bags in Meeples and Monsters are really nice.
Great. Everything about it is great. I don't know why they didn't put some sort of thing on the gray meeple. Like they did one side of the other meeples with a silk screen. I get it.
They're supposed to be, curses.
Yeah, but like in the instruction book, they show like an image, like
the insert's fine.
No,
it's not great, but it's okay.
No, they don't all fit there. You have 5 different things.
Yeah, I think they left them open for. What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I think they left them open for expansions.
All right, you have everything bagged in the center.
Yeah.
I put the 4 different meeples, the red, the black, the blue, and the yellow, in the 4 openings that they have there for the stuff. Here? Yeah, and then I couldn't figure out why the center one was split in the middle, because you can't fit enough of the white in there, so it didn't make any sense.
Oh, no, that's where these little cards go.
And how did you figure that out? You just like, oh, this fits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Complaining about inserts and don't know how to put stuff in it.
I mean, show me where the things go. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, ever since, I think Stonemayer was the first one to do it with Scythe. I could be wrong, but ever since they put the diagram on there showing you how to put stuff up, everyone should do it. I did it on Troubles, the new one.
Yeah, or give me an image on the, like, in the book. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't care where you put it. Put it on the side of the inside of the box, like something to just show like
Oh,
this
right here.
goes there.
Inside of the bottom of the box where nobody else uses anything else.
Yeah,
Everyone should do it. It's just laziness if you don't.
I agree. But the game I'm looking forward to playing it tomorrow.
It's good.
But it looks pretty good, yeah. And it's got that water deep feel, so
Yeah, I said it was like a mix between Waterdeep and Orleans.
yeah.
Not as not quite as heavy as Orleans. Not that Orleans that heavy, but it's like somewhere in between.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good choice. Like every time you're there, you're like, "Ooh, I could do that, or I could do that," and like it feels good every time. So
That's good.
That's cool.
yeah, I liked it better than I thought I did. This was a almost back for me. I was like, all right, I'll do it because I like bag builders, but so I'm glad I talked myself into it.
Yeah, it seems like a good one.
Yeah, other than the sticker.
I'm going. I played two. Actually, we kind of half played one thing last week. One was glowing. The other one, I don't understand why somebody on the show likes it. The one I could take you down off this thing, I guess now, right? The one that I loved was Unsettled by Orange Nebula. The production value, which I mean, you're getting game trays in there, but the way that they did it, the way they laid out how the game plays, how each planet is different in its own play, like the way you shuffle it out and set it up, like that's different. And then they have all those planets that are different setups. The components are great. The gameplay was a typical first play. Like we realized we were doing something wrong near the end, but otherwise the instruction book was really easy to find out what we needed to find out. Everything about that was great. So if you haven't, or if you're on the fence about Unsettled or you're thinking about it, Unsettled is awesome.
So I backed it and then canceled. And like this new one that's currently, I don't know if it's still going right now.
It's probably near its end.
Yeah. I backed it and then canceled because I was watching a review of it and they said that it was, I already knew that it was cooperative, but someone said that it has this alpha gamer possibility. Not that a game has an alpha gamer problem, but if there's the possibility, that is the problem for me, because what that turns into for me is I would be the alpha gamer if I wasn't watching myself, right?
Right.
So,
and it definitely does. We realized it became more of a conversation because, like, on your turn, you have actions that you can do, like you're spending your dice to do certain things, and you can definitely get into the rabbit hole of, well, wait a minute, don't do that. If you do this, you can do this for everybody else, and it definitely can be there.
Yeah.
But it is cooperative. You are working together. Hopefully you're not playing with the dickholes that'll do that to you, but it is possible.
Yeah. Like I've said this before, but as someone who could be the alpha gamer, I hold myself back, which means I don't enjoy it as much. Right. So that's why I'm not going to get it. But I much prefer cooperative games that have like hidden cards where you can't see what other people are able to do, so they get to make their own decisions.
Yep.
Then I'm free to just think about my thing and hope they're doing their thing. Cool. But when I heard that, I backed out. What?
I was gonna say, what was the other game you played?
Oh, I don't know if you'll like me after this one. So Unsettled.
I already don't. I'm
Unsettled.
kidding.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with it. No one has to like me. I'm good with it. Unsettled is in 17 hours. It's at 12,600 plus backers, and it's almost at 1.8 million.
Yeah, so they're not missing me.
No. And it's co-op. My if you're on the fence with it, get it, was not to you because I didn't think it would be your type of game. But I do
actually was on the fence because of the theme and some of the mechanisms, but that
really cool.
Cooperative thing isn't for me. Yeah.
The production value of it is just through the roof. I mean,
looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well done. I wish the minis were different. They were all the same sculpt, just different color.
Yeah.
But they did a really cool thing with your player board where you picked your character's face and put it on the board. Like they left a knot. So it's the
I saw that, yeah.
astronaut or whatever. And then you could put a face to the character. I thought that it does nothing in the game, but it was really cool to like make your character feel, because all the minis are just the same.
Yeah, I saw a lot of cool stuff with it. It just personally won't work for me, but I think I'm glad it's out there. Yeah.
It's a good one. And then before we played a really cool prototype from a local company, Kinsole Studios. They have a game coming to Kickstarter that's really fun. We actually abandoned this game to play that one. And I don't understand why people like it so much. I'll show it.
Oh,
Equinox.
what? No, it's so good.
It's not. The art is great, but I mean, and I love the golem thing. Like I said about Century Spice Road, I like the golem theme because I can get behind the fact that I need the gems to power the golems. But this whole bidding thing with the gems and the making it to the end thing, like it just didn't. I was unimpressed. It's a lot of table space, right? You got a 6x9 of tarot-sized cards. I don't know why you have a bag. You have 5 gems. Why do I need a bag?
What?
There's a bag that specifically says to put your gems in the bag. Why? Yeah, you don't have to look. Yeah,
I thought that game was like this big or something.
Oh no, it's huge.
No, this grid of cards that you put out is. It's
I don't know why you got the golem when you
down.
can have like. Look at how pretty this is.
I don't know.
The art is beautiful. The art is, as you would expect. The art is great, but there's just some things in it that I'm just like, what?
Here?
I don't know why. I always thought it was like the size of Codenames.
That's your game setup, Chris. And these are tarot-sized cards, right? Like this is my phone.
Oh shit! There is bags in here.
It's a tarot-sized card. And you're doing that to your board. So it's 9 by.
Yeah, that's big. 6. I don't know if I could fit that on our table.
Yeah, actually. Why do they? I don't think we use these when.
There's no reason to. You have 5 gems in your color. If they're like,
see when they're out.
It's not hidden. They're out or they're not. Like it's. I don't understand that. Then the whole bidding thing with like I don't know. We like set it up. We started going through the rules and Luke and I were like, wait, what? Why are we doing this? Do we bid on this? Like it just didn't. And then we were like, ooh, prototype of a game that's coming out months from now. Let's play that one. Like it was.
Did you not read the rules before bringing it with you?
The person that was teaching it knew how to play the game, was teaching it to Luke and I.
Oh, okay.
But again, even if we knew how to, I probably wouldn't have taken time to play it if I had been like, this is how you play the game.
No, it's fun. Oh
is
my gosh. Yes.
What is fun about this? Is why I was like, I'm going to bring this up. What is fun about it?
Like to me, the playing cards in order to manipulate which one is like scoring or which one is like still in the running or whatever, like it's been a little while, but I remember that being a really cool mechanism where it's like with the cards that I have in my hand that I can play, I can affect like which column is still in the running. Like I like that because it was like that was the whole point of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, whoever has last play can make sure that a card is either in or out. Because the lowest one's getting bounced, right? Yeah. The lowest value of a card in a row, and you go through 5 rounds, the lowest one is out for the rest of the game. So whoever has last go in that round can make sure that either a card stays or a card leaves if they have the right card to do that.
Right, but what do you mean the last go? Because as long as you can keep playing, you keep playing.
Yeah, until you're, I mean, you have cards in your hand and you're playing cards down. Right, so like,
but some of them will allow you to pick out more.
Yeah, but if everyone else has passed and you can play, then you manipulate without abandon.
Sure, but the other thing too is that like the other people, like there are secret bids and stuff like that. You don't know where people.
Yeah, but you only secret bid in the beginning. Like the first thing you can do is do a secret bid. Otherwise, it's not a secret bid.
Right.
So like you can bank on one card in the beginning of the game and hope, but then
Yeah, but then you adjust as the game keeps going and you bid elsewhere.
sure,
You do that
okay.
with that? I like the stones in this one. I don't know. Yours are gems. These are like these cool stones.
No, neat. Yeah, no, these are gems. They're the same gems in the Century one.
Of course, gems, everything. Yeah, see, this is, and I don't even know why they made a golem one for this because the artwork on this one is
Beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah,
I like both of them. I'd probably go for the golem one as well.
it's gorgeous. The art's gorgeous. It's not about the art. Just the gameplay was like, and then
but it's half about the art for me. Like on this one,
the iconography didn't even make sense. Like some of it seemed counterintuitive. Like when we were looking at the champion to figure out what the champion did, we had to go to the rule book to figure it out again. Like it wasn't, oh, you sacrifice a card to do a thing. It was like, wait, that's not what this icon is showing. Like it was a full card / X card, and it was like that to me says draw a card or discard a card, and it wasn't that thing. It was very, I don't know.
Where's the Pocahontas face?
Yeah, it's to you for liking that game.
No, it's to you because what's wrong with you?
Nope.
My cards are warping. That's not good.
There's another thing about the game.
Hey, shut
Going
up.
downhill. You're not helping.
Cats and dogs living together.
Nice.
Did
What
you
else
play
did I
anything else? I ended up playing Cafe. These are
Cafe?
so not good. Yeah. So I ended up playing it solo, but I can see how it would be really good multiplayer as well.
Cafe. Oh, I saw that. That was a Kickstarter or something, right?
I don't think so.
No?
But I could be wrong. It's a very small game. And basically throughout the game, so you have 4 types of beans that you can collect. So you start with like your basic card, and each card has like coffee beans, or there's a coffee cup. You can have a drying rack or like a roaster and stuff like that. So you place your first card, and then you're going to grab a card from the market and add it to your setup. But you always have to cover 2 squares and overlap. So as you go, you build your, business area or whatever, your roasting facility, whatever you call it. And the cool thing about it is that when you take an action, so for example, if you take the produce bean action, you'll select whichever one you want to produce, and anything that is attached to it orthogonally will trigger. So your beans, you're trying to keep them all together so that when you produce, they will all kind of trigger together.
A little engine building thing.
Kind of works for drying. So when you want to move beans onto the drying rack, like if you select the drying section, if you have another one beside it orthogonally, that one will also trigger. So then it allows you to maximize your turns, because your cup of coffees on your display are the amount of actions you're allowed to take. So if you only have 3 cups, you only get 3 actions. So you're trying to get those freebies by clustering your stuff together. And then, basically you're trying to fulfill orders or like to deliver to shops. So certain shop will require, 2 green beans and a yellow one. So eventually that's what your goal is to make points that way. But it was really cool to like try and overlap in a way that it's like, okay, well, I'm going to overlap here. Well, now I just hid, basically got rid of a roaster. So I'm going to have to make sure I get one of those after, like, because you always need to make sure you have certain things in your display. Otherwise you're missing out on certain actions. So it was a really cool puzzle type game. Yeah, I really liked it.
Cool.
But anyway, we have different stuff. Michael's just too picky.
That is 100% false.
I know.
You can be picky sometimes. We can all be picky.
I can be stubborn.
Well, that's for damn sure.
Absolutely. But when it comes to games, I'm usually not picky.
No, I know.
Yeah, I just didn't. I know you had talked about it being really good, and
I really liked it. Like, this was a game that I bought purely on art, and I knew like almost nothing about it.
Sure.
And we played it, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like, I really enjoyed it. But oh well.
to each their own.
Who knew that Pocahontas was so expressive?
She's angry.
Mm. Well, I know what Chris is doing in the intro next week.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yep.
All right. Should we call it run over to Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then by next week we have to come up with a publishing company name that we would call our company. Is that our homework?
Yeah. Come up with a cool idea for your company.
All right.
Are we just coming up with one?
No, come up with
like
5.
each. Yeah.
Okay.
Best
That's our
names in the
homework.
world. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we'll finish it up, and we will run to Discord at the end of this. If you haven't been before, the link is in the description.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I think I put that in there. Yeah, it's in there. Sure.
Probably. It probably is.
Most likely. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. And next week we're going to be doing things. We're going to have another show. That's
I mean,
we're going to be talking about things.
We'll be here.
I might still have Grogu back behind me. That's pretty much all I can promise because we haven't planned anything, right?
yeah, no, it's more. It's usually we do things in the last 24 hours.
See, I had Kevin.
I saw Kevin. Yes.
I didn't realize that. Like, I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but his eyes kind of look.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Huh.
See how his eyes look around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then watch this. Watch this. He's going to take the banana. Here we go. Take the banana.
Family show.
So he can eat it, but watch.
Does he only do that with the banana?
See, if you put the banana in it.
Banana.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's deceivingly, like, it looks so small back there, and then you move it to the front.
Yeah, I mean, he's as big as Grogu.
Starting to go downhill.
And Grogu also, My TARDIS also makes noise, but I don't have any batteries in it.
This is loaded with sound clips.
I wish the Jawa was like a little ootity kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it should definitely talk.
Yeah. All right.
All right. To Discord.
This is what you get when you last 3 hours and 22 minutes.
We start just whatever.
Look at my toys; they make noise. Yeah.
Let's move all this whatever back into Discord.
Right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for sticking around.
Bye.
See you in the Discord.
Bye.